Danful offers unparalleled, curated and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
Let me make sure I'm on the right mic before we get started. There we go. I'm on the right mic today. Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. All that good stuff. You guys know the routine. You know the drill. We got a couple comments in the chat room. Boom 4529. Shout out to you as well. Haitian Moore, the world not talking none of this. It's serious. I think he meant taking none of this shit serious until the sellers are held accountable first. No different than the drug dealers. We'll get into that. We will get into that. So, guys, hit the like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. You guys know the drill. Don't be a stranger. If you came and you're peeping, you're just doing a quick drive by and peeping your head in and see what's going on, go ahead and stay. Go ahead and stay. All right, what else do we got going? Hey, we're rolling to Nigeria. We are rolling to Nigeria August 2nd through the 11th. August 2nd through the 11th. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo. That's DANFO.Africa. Again, please visit Danfo. That's DANFO.Africa to learn more. Again, please visit Danfo.Africa to learn more. We're also going to Zanzibar in September for the for Safari Blue. Then we're going to Kenya shortly thereafter. And then we're heading to Ghana and Ivory Coast in November, as well as Sierra Leone in November. And then we're going to, that'll be January. We're going to Benin for the Voodoo Festival. So if you're interested in joining, please visit Danfo. That's DANFO.Africa to learn more. Shout out to Passport King 77. Again, shout out to Passport King 77 in the chat room. I will put the link in the chat here shortly. So there's a 19-point framework for reparations, and that was presented by African countries in the Caribbean nations. So let's present it. Let's just jump right. Let's see. I'm here for the slave holding me as an infant. Google Aunt Charlotte McClay Stella Anthony. Okay. Hey guys, don't be afraid of super chat, Cash App, all that good stuff. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. But let's jump into this framework. And guys, so the framework could be found. I think this is it right here. No, wrong one. Here we go. Next step book. Here we go. I, I'll put the link in the chat room. Let me put the link in the chat room. So this is the framework right here. So I'll put a link in the chat room. So it's 19 steps. We'll go through them. Then I'll open up the chat, and you guys will call in. And if you agree with it, you agree with it. If not, if you don't, you don't. Give reasons why. Global strategic framework for reparatory justice. We commit to the full and effective implementation of Resolution ARES 8250 through a coherent and coordinated global framework on reparatory justice for Africans and people of African descent, structured around the following strategic pillars. Number one, acknowledgement of truth and apology. We call upon states and non-state institutions yet to do so to issue acknowledgement of their role in the trafficking of enslaved Africans and African descendants and the racialized chattel enslavement of Africans, and to offer full, formal, and unconditional apologies is a foundational step towards reconciliation, trust building, and reparatory justice. We affirm that apologies should be unconditional and accompanied by guarantees of non-repetition, including the repeal of legal and ecclesiastical codes and recognition of the intergenerational legacies and enduring consequences. We undertake to strengthen our collective efforts to ensure that concerned states and non-state institutions yet to do so offer full and formal apologies. Let me just there we go. Law and justice. We commit to strengthening legal and institutional pathways for reparatory justice, including the utilization of international, regional, and domestic mechanisms to advance accountability and redress. We also commit to supporting generational victims to access justice for historical wrongs. We urge the urgent reform of criminal justice systems to address the challenge of systemic racism against people of African descent. Compensatory reparations. We affirm that the trafficking of enslaved Africans and racialized chattel enslavement of Africans and people of African descent is the gravest crime against humanity and a violation of peremptory norms of international law. Such violations generate obligations, erga omnes. Okay, hopefully I said that right. And we remain resolved to ensure fair and adequate compensation for the people of Africa and people of African descent, including those affected by legacies of enslavement, colonialism, genocide, and apartheid. We further affirm that the obligation to compensate exists as a matter of international law, and therefore commit to support the development of comprehensive approach to determine the appropriate modalities for compensation and remedying the existing obligations for historical injustices. Restitution of cultural property and heritage. We recognize the importance of protecting cultural properties, preserving cultural heritage and antiquities, and the need to safeguard cultural properties from trafficking. We resolve to accelerate the return of cultural property, human remains, archives, and heritage to countries of origin, and commits to support cultural restoration and preservation initiatives. We recognize the importance of the restitution of cultural identity and heritage, and reaffirm the common African position and on the restitution of heritage resources. We also commit to strengthen coordination at UNESCO and other multilateral fora to advance the renewal and updating of the existing framework related to return of cultural heritage. Let's continue. All right, there we go. We're on number 5. Decolonization. We urge the reparations movements to support the ongoing campaigns to secure the decolonization of European and American colonies or non-self-governing territories, in keeping with the aims and objectives of the 4th United Nations International Decade for the Eradication of Colonialism. 6. Global governance reforms. We remain committed to the urgent reform of the global governance of architecture and addressing historical injustices, and agree to accelerate our common efforts for the reform of the United Nations Security Council and international financial institutions to ensure equitable representation and meaningful participation in global decision making and furtherance of the United Nations Pact for the future ARES 791. We recommit to support initiatives aimed at reforming the international debt architecture and the international tax regime, including efforts to secure fairer, more responsive, and affordable finance for vulnerable and historically disadvantaged countries. Guys, give me 30 seconds. Well, really 20. Okay, I'm back. Shout out to Kemet 1961. Thank you for providing a holla. Why is Password in the chat? This is exactly what he wanted. Um, okay, I think I read that. Number 7, transforming global economic and development architecture. We resolve to address structural inequalities and imbalances affecting Africa, the Caribbean, Latin America, and people of African descent in settler colonies. We reject the current imbalance and unequal global economic and developmental and development architecture to affirm our commitment to strengthening South-South cooperation for sustainable and equitable economic transformation for all our people, including through building appropriate economic and financial institutions, structures, systems, and equitable development partnerships that reflect the values of Africans, peoples of African descent, and all peoples. We resolve to move past colonial era power structures and define for ourselves a central role in global governance. We commit to intensify efforts to achieve just and fairer trading terms and would work amongst ourselves to strengthen trading ties. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. You know, that helps the algorithm. Debt relief and financial justice. We recognize that enduring social and economic consequences of enslavement, colonialism, and related historical injustices have contributed to persistent development challenges, including heightened debt vulnerabilities and constrained fiscal space in many developing countries. We therefore call for concrete, predictable, and development-oriented multilateral measures to address sovereign debt burdens, including comprehensive debt relief, debt restructuring, and cancellation where necessary, debt for development swaps, enhanced access to concessional financing, expanded liquidity support, and meaningful reforms of intentional financial architecture. We further call for the establishment and strengthening of fair, transparent, inclusive, and development-oriented sovereign debt resolution mechanisms under the auspices of the United Nations to address these burdens to enable affected countries to pursue their development priorities without undue debt constraints. We call for reforms in sovereign credit rating mechanisms which impose high risk on countries in the global south and fully support the activities of the African Credit Rating Agency. We underscore the urgent need to consider restitution for countries in special situations such as Haiti. Global Reparations Fund. We commit to continue dialogue and consultations on the establishment and operationalization, hope I said that right, of a global reparations fund in this and other relevant fora. We note that such mechanisms must be anchored on a transparent, consultative, and inclusive process, corporate accountability, and business responsibility. We deplore the roles played by commercial actors and enterprises in the enslavement and trafficking of enslaved Africans. Systems of colonial exploitation and racial discrimination encourage measures that promote accountability, responsible business conduct, access to remedy, and equitable investment partnerships consistent with international and regional business and human rights standards. Technological innovation and capacity building. We call for concrete measures to advance innovation, to advance technology innovation, digital inclusion, and capacity building for developing countries as a means of addressing persistent development gaps arising from the enduring consequences of enslavement, colonialism, and related historical injustices. We further call for enhanced access to emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and urge the removal of barriers will limit developing countries' ability to harness the benefits of technological progress. We underscore the importance of cooperation as well as increased investment in digital infrastructure, education, skills, development, and institutional capacity building. Such efforts are critical to promoting digital justice, accelerating sustainable development, and ensuring that developing Countries are not left behind in the rapidly evolving global technological landscape. Public health and well-being. We recognize the multi-generational health impacts of enslavement and colonialism and commit to addressing the global health inequities that disproportionately affect Africans and people of African descent. We resolve to address the historical and ongoing legacy of inequities and abuses in medical, public health, and mental health systems, including the exploitation of the bodies and the genetics of Africans and people of African descent in scientific research and experimentation, disparities in responses to public health crisis and systemic patterns often described as medical apartheid. We commit to advance healthcare response systems for such affected groups of people and communities. We further recognize the need to assert the health sovereignty of Africans and people of African descent and commit to fully embrace indigenous and traditional health practices. We therefore welcome the objectives of the Accra Reset Initiative, gender justice. We recognize that the trafficking of enslaved Africans and the racialized chattel enslavement of Africans had distinct and enduring gender impacts, including the exploitation of African men, women, boys, and girls through sexual violence, reproductive coercion, family separation, and other forms of dehumanization. We acknowledge that these historical injustices continue to manifest in intersecting forms of discrimination and inequality, especially affecting women and girls of African descent. We therefore affirm that the pursuit of reparatory justice must be gender responsive, human rights based, and informed by the principles of equality, non-discrimination, and a full, equal, and meaningful participation of women and girls in all justice reparatory processes. Climate justice. We further recognize that the enduring consequences of racialized chattel enslavement, colonialism, and racial discrimination intersect with contemporary global challenges, including climate change, environmental degradation, and biodiversity loss, which disproportionately affect developing countries, small island developing states with communities of African descent, as well as peoples and communities. We take note of the advisory opinion of the International Court of Justice on Climate Change and the subsequent United Nations General Assembly resolution, welcoming the opinion which clarified that states have obligations under international law to protect the climate system, and the breaches of such obligations may give rise to legal consequences, including reparations. We therefore affirm the importance of advancing reparatory justice in a manner that promotes climate resilience, environmental sustainability, and intergenerational equity consistent with 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and its Paris Agreement, and the full of common but differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities. In this regard, we underscore the need for equitable access to climate finance, technology transfer, and capacity building to address vulnerabilities rooted in historical and structural injustice, including through practical reforms to improve access to climate finance, reducing the cost of capital, expand prearranged finance for climate shocks, and support investment in resilience and sustainable economic transformation. Multi-generational and intergenerational dimension. We recognize that reparatory justice must be shaped to benefit present and future generations. Reparatory justice processes must include the meaningful participation of the youth and the young people in the design, implementation, and monitoring of all processes. Spiritual, psychological rehabilitation, and social healing. We highlight the importance and urgency of addressing psychosocial trauma suffered by Africans and people of African descent as a result of trafficking enslaved Africans and the racialized child enslavement of Africans. We commit to inclusive and culturally grounded initiatives to restore broken connections and communities, including as a result of the legacy of untreated trauma that is multi-generational. We acknowledge that a healing center framework is essential to reparations process. Education, knowledge, and cultural renewal. We underscore the importance of reparatory justice, education, memorialization, and truth telling, and development of knowledge systems that accurately reflect historical realities to promote human dignity and cultural identity, support research, public awareness and conscientization. Guys, don't attack me. Okay, don't come after me. I know I butchered that word. And let me get back in the chat room because I don't see the chat because I'm reading this. Hold on. Okay. All right, guys, hit the like button again. Please hit that like button. Appreciate you. Love you. Okay. Um. Now I lost my part. Dennis, where you at? Yeah, I didn't lost the spot I was on. Hold on. Yeah, I didn't lost the spot. Hold on. Come on. Where you at, Dinus? Where you at? Come on, get back. Hey, there we go. There we go. We commit to addressing knowledge gaps and the knowledge distortions of the history of Africans and the peoples of African descent. We recall the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization (UNESCO) Roots of Enslaved Peoples Project and support its objectives for research, memory, transmission, and intercultural dialogue. So we are now on. Okay, is this 19 points or 18 points? I thought it was 19. I think we're missing. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me go back. Truth, documentation, and public memory. We commit to advancing truth telling processes, including access to archives, historical documentation, research, and public acknowledgement of the trafficking of enslaved Africans, racialized chattel enslavement, colonialism, and their enduring consequences. We encourage the preservation, digitization, and accessibility of relevant records, and support memorialization initiatives that honor victims and survivors, restore historical truth, and strengthen public understanding. We commit to a renewed effort of preserving the forts and castles across the coast of Africa as well as the Caribbean as an enduring memorialization, truth telling, and veritable tool to combat erasure and denialism. 18, Diaspora engagement, citizenship, and right of return. We recall the Abuja Proclamation 1993, which exhorts all African states to grant rights of entry and residence to all persons of African descent. If there are no disqualifying grounds, we commit to strengthening connections between Africans and people of African descent, including through cultural exchanges, knowledge exchanges, inclusive investment policies and programs, with introduction, strengthening, and expansion of voluntary return, citizenship, and reintegration initiatives pathways, drawing on existing and national experiences, best practices, and institutional frameworks, and receiving communities with the view to developing coherent and adequately resourced approaches across the continent diaspora. All right, and this is the implementation. All right, D, implementation. We commit to translating these strategic ambitions into concrete national, regional, and global actions that are aligned, coherent, and reinforcing of our shared principles and common objectives. We underscore the importance of sustaining global political engagement at all multilateral institutions, including within the wider United Nations system, especially the Permanent Forum on People of African Descent and international financial institutions. We encourage enhanced cooperation among the relevant institutions of the African Union, the CARICOM, and CELAC, and in advancing the implementation and monitoring of reparatory justice commitments. We appreciate the role of existing regional institutions such as CARICOM, Reparations Commission, AU Commission, African Commission on Human and People's Rights, African Committee of Experts on Rights and Welfare of the Child, National Human Rights Institutions, and other relevant regional organs in advancing the implementation and monitoring of reparatory justice commitments. We welcome the President of Ghana's decision to establish the unrealistic global multi-stakeholder panels as supportive institutional mechanisms to operate in close coordination with and implement existing mechanisms and initiatives to advance the reparations agenda and thereby fostering transcontinental synergy, coherence, and optimal utilization of global resources. High-level Global Advisory Council on Reparatory Justice, Global Expert Panel on the Restitution of Cultural Heritage, and Global Legal Panel on Reparatory Justice. We also agree to convene this consultative conference annually, during which we shall, among others, discuss the work of the established council and panels. We recommend that all reparatory justice measures be designed in consultation with affected communities through inclusive and accessible processes, ensuring meaningful participation and local ownership in their implementation. We encourage enhancement of the activities of citizen rights movements on the reparatory justice agenda and commit to actively support the global reparations movement. We encourage states to establish museums to promote memorialization, truth telling, and create a reliable repository of returned artifacts and objects of cultural significance. We call for mobilization of adequate and sustainable financial and technical resources, including through international cooperation and innovative financing approaches to support reparations efforts and initiatives. We encourage all states to integrate reparatory justice considerations in national development strategies, educational curricula, and international cooperation frameworks, partnership, cooperation, solidarity. We reaffirm the importance of inclusive dialogue, good faith, engagement, and solidarity among all stakeholders. We emphasize the importance of unified efforts, strengthen transcontinental cooperation and international partnerships, and commit to sustained engagement with civil society, academia, the private sector, and affected communities towards the full and effective implementation of Resolution ARES 8250. Follow up and review. We request the outcomes of this high-level consultative conference on the implementation of United Nations General Assembly Resolution ARES 8250 be transmitted to the Secretary General of the United Nations for consideration and relevant reports to the General Assembly and the wider United Nations system in the implementation of programs. We call on the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, and other United Nations entities to facilitate inclusive and good faith dialogue among the member states and other stakeholders, including descendant communities. We commit to strengthen multilateral and civil society coordination through ongoing structured dialogue aimed at advancing participation, accountability, and effective implementation of Resolution ARES 8250. We emphasize the need for monitoring and evaluation mechanisms to track progress and ensure effective implementation. We therefore resolve to utilize subsequent annual consultative conferences and other relevant processes to take stock of progress and make recommendations for addressing any challenges or gaps. We commend the commitments from this process to form part of ongoing processes in the context of the AU Decade of Action on Reparations and African Heritage and United Nations Second International Decade for People of African Descent. Conclusion, we now therefore, in the spirit of solidarity, partnership, and shared responsibility, reaffirm our collective determination to transform the historic recognition embodied in Resolution ARES 8250 into concrete, meaningful, and sustained action to advance reparatory justice, healing, and equitable development for Africans and the people of African descent. June 19, 2026, Accra. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, where my picture at? All right, there we go. All right, guys, I'm gonna put the link in the somebody said this is word salad. All right, well, hey, listen, links in the chat room. If you believe this is word salad and you want to present why this is word salad, hey, you have your opportunity. Link is in the chat room. Again, link is in the chat room. All right, go ahead, Em.
Kudos, sir, for going over this document. It's very admirable. What I got from it, it's sad to say, I don't like to use this word tethering, but going over exactly what the nations, Ghana, the African nations, the Caribbean nations, they talking about debt relief from IMF debts, national debt. That stuff occurred by their choice. They chose to take out these loans and they squandered the money. What does that have to do with trafficking Africans doing the transatlantic slave trade? They're talking about infrastructure improvements, talking about having access to technology. What does that have to do with the tragedy of slavery? I was researching the debt to GDP of these African nations, Caribbean nations, right? Ghana is one of the biggest debt holders, not debt holders, but they have the biggest IMF debt, and their ratio of debt to GDP ratio is about 50%, and their GDP in U.S. dollars is $100 billion, give or take a couple of billion. That means that Black Americans has over 20 times the GDP of Ghana. Jamaica and Haiti, their debt to GDP ratio is over 100%. Like Nigeria's debt to GDP ratio is about 30%, but their U.S. Gross domestic product is 300 million. That means that Black Americans has 6 times the GDP of Nigeria. So what I see is they could be honest about it, sincere about it. What I see, they just want to go see. It's like I compare it to how Tariq Nasheed took FBA from ADOS. ADOS was a genuine movement looking for reparations to heal the racial wealth gap between Black Americans and white Americans. They say reparations the only way. Tariq Nasheed took it because I guess he's a grifter, you know, and ran with it because he saw there's money in it. I don't think he believed in the ideals. I don't think he want to be a leader. I don't think he really believe in reparations. It's just his way to get money, like a slick talking type pimp. And I see this is a similar situation, like Ghana, all of these people, they see a way for them to ease in and get some national debt relief, and they could see a way to get some money. I don't think they care about slavery or Africans and all of this work, because if they really cared about Africans and slavery and that rhetoric that they put out there in this document, they say, okay, they talking about people should have a right to return to African nations, but why do we need a document for that? They want the Europeans to approve that? Don't they have the power to do that themselves? Like, these people have all of this land, all of these resources. They don't know what to do with it. Like we was talking yesterday, reparations should be land. You have the land. You have the money. They don't have the intellectual insight. They don't have the vision. And I think they don't have like I don't want to take all the time, but they don't have the humility to admit that y'all in America have the knowledge, you have the wealth, you have the money. The only thing that we lack is our what you call it? It's a deficit, a trade deficit. We allow people to trade with us without basically trading with us. We purchase for them, and they don't purchase anything for us. So our $2 trillion GDP is being dispersed all over the world by these people. If we could solve that and hold some of that money, then we might see our self-actualization. We might see ourselves grow as a nation. But we just allow people to come in and just take money from us. If we could take that out, but if Africa really if they was really honest about it, if they was really sincere, they would say, okay, y'all are doing good, we need you. But they're doing all of this convoluted, underhanded ways to try to get to our money. Like, we're going to go to Europe, get the reparations. Instead of just coming to us and just telling the truth, like, y'all got 20 times our wealth, we really need y'all. Like 5 years ago, Ghana's debt to GDP ratio was 70%. So the inclusion of Black Americans reduced their debt to GDP ratio just by us going over there. But they don't want to just say it. Like, all of this talk, all of this.
30 seconds.
Right,
30 seconds. Please land.
That's about it. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Passport King. Mute yourself, Passport King.
Good afternoon. Sorry, yeah, just unmuted. Can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dinus. Good evening, panel. Wow. That 19-point plan was something, wasn't it? And
hey, Passport King, do you have like a fan in the background or?
Oh yeah, I do. I'm sorry. Let me put that off. Is that better? Yeah,
go ahead.
Sorry about that. I had the wind tunnel thing going. Yeah, that next step plan was something, wasn't it? And I almost don't know where to begin. So I'm gonna start this way. Just bear with me for a moment. I'm not gonna be long-winded. Imagine an arsonist giving a workshop on fire prevention. Imagine an arsonist setting fire to properties that they own and then later filing insurance for those properties. Now, in this day and age with, fire marshals and stuff, they can usually detect arson. And not only is that person not going to get paid, they're going to face criminal charges. Now, I just use that as a hypothetical analogy. That's pretty much what Ghana is doing. People want to downplay and they get mad when we bring up the elephant in the room. Are we going to pretend that now this the game that people want to play? Well, you see, Ghana didn't exist back then. You can't hold them responsible for those tribes. Well, guess what? Those tribes still exist. The tribes that were actively involved in the slave trade, they still exist in present day Ghana. The president of Ghana, it's a documented fact. I will have to Google it real quick, but the tribe he is in is slave traders. So how can people that was active participants of the crime centuries later now talking and trying to act like they're aggrieved victims? But let me point to one particular part that raises an eyebrow that shows you what this really is, what you get through all of the climate change and all this other babble. This is nothing more than a bait and switch money grab. Let me point exactly where it's at. That part where they talk about setting up a reparations global fund. Okay, that doesn't sound necessarily bad, but here's the thing. It's so vague, okay? Who's going to oversee it? Who's going to determine where the money goes? What country is going to host this money? Is it going to be an advisory panel? You notice how when it comes to the important points, it's intentionally left vague, and that's where the potential sleight of hand trickery, bait and switch, money just disappears, it gets filtered into Swiss bank accounts. That's going to settle for that to happen. And you know what? I want to be long-winded. I think I made my point clear. I'll land my plane right there.
All right, guys, go ahead.
Hello, Pana, how you doing? Yes, so off the back of yesterday, I'm just gonna come in from yesterday. I think Ghana has every right, to be going for reparations. They have every right. They're victims as well. A lot of African countries were victims as well. So, there's two sides to this. There's two sides to it, and I believe it's a good thing. At least they got a plan. You know what I'm saying? They've come out with a framework, 19-point framework, and I think, that the Caribbeans are getting involved. Like, they're adding their bit as well. You see what I'm saying? So what I think is that the Americans, Black Americans, FBA, need to get involved as well. They need to add their part as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we can all win. Do you understand? Yeah. But what it is, it's like, it's not just one reparation. Yeah, it's not just one. Like, Black Americans could be fighting for their own thing as well. Do you understand? They could be fighting for their own reparations at home. Yeah, and there could be like an international one as well. International, and there's that home base as well. So you could win in two ways. You can win both ways. You know what I'm saying? So instead of like us coming together, working as a unit, which is much more effective, much more stronger, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're like dealing with these type of corporate entities and these organizations, if you're just like, coming by yourself, it's like there's a chance they're not even gonna recognize, they're not gonna take you serious, you know what I'm saying? So you need to come up with some type of good structure, like a good unit, international unit, then they know that you're serious, like everyone's on board, you know what I'm saying? Like these people, like they'll be like, these people, they're serious, like everyone's on board, you know what I'm saying? And they know the potential of us, like, doing something economically which can really affect them. So they're more likely to give in, you know what I'm saying? Because we're all putting pressure from all angles, different angles. Americans are coming in, Caribbeans are coming in, and the Africans are coming in. You cannot exclude, you cannot exclude the continent from this act. You can't exclude them. It doesn't make sense, because that's where it started from.
30 seconds.
Yeah, that's where it started from. You know what I'm saying? It started from the continent, and you know, it's stupid. You have to think about it. It's stupid. They're just as victims. You know what I'm saying? From colonization, from slavery to colonization. You know what I'm saying? So it led on. You know what I'm saying? They're just as much as victims. So that's all I have to say.
All right, go ahead, Kidola.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. Thank you, everybody. I've been listening to the points you mentioned and everything. Whatever you read is about it's the Caribbeans and let's say Ghana represent Africa. These are what they come out with. There's something to do with intellectual, you know, and it might be difficult, but they're already in that path. Ghana opened the way for Caribbeans. Nigeria's having straight airlines, you don't have to stop in the United States to some of this island now. And if they work together, you know, I don't know what kind of representative they want to get, what kind of money or what they're looking for. Or maybe it's a little bit strange. But this has to come together and form whatever they're looking for. They're not insulting nobody. They're not saying that monkey or that whatever. But they just came together to Ghana. Macron was scared to be there. Because, this thing can be very, very painful. I think sooner or later, Nigeria will join this game. They're not there yet, but they will surely come. But Ghana will drag them into this, into this business. What happened in the past, I don't know. It's not going to feed me. But the way to walk around it and walk with it, I think that's what the Caribbeans and Ghana that represent Africa is doing right now. And this will have to learn. The United States, the Black American footprint are not here. I understand they cannot be here because they're under a country which they belong to called United States. But you see, when you bring your intellectual with the Black American, never really have and never really presented to anything. Rather, this I think in the past they have. People like the Martin Luther King that are able to achieve a lot of things for them. But when somebody tell you, I will teach you how to get your money, or I will teach you how the government can compensate for what happened. A high school dropout or something like that. Those were the form ADOS under the shield umbrella of a white racist man that formed there against other blacks. That what you see. The other one used it to line his pocket because all the money that white America would have paid black people in the United States, somebody eat it. And that is the $2 million they gave to him. And I think the so-called FDA should ask Tariq Rashid to open school for them and hospitals and buy them all the Bentleys that he promised them how to open the kind of things. I think Ghana did pretty well.
Can I ask you a question?
Don't ask me a question. Let me land. You can go ask. You can go ask your master that later. Where Ghana did pretty well. I think in the intellectual form, they all came together. I think there'll be more improvement.
30 seconds.
That's how I'm seeing things, and how things will go, Diners. But I'm really skeptical if the white man will ever pay Ghana. Maybe they might pay through debt relief or investment. Thank you, bro.
All right, go ahead, Africa. Africa is the Harker because he had dropped off. Go ahead, Africa.
Okay, yeah, greetings to everyone. I appreciate you guys and I appreciate the work you're doing, Dennis. Thank you very much. This is a very great platform. It's a grassroots platform. You don't find a lot of platform like this, in our world today, and people actually really should appreciate that. It's where we have proper grassroots conversation. Sometimes it can get bitter, it can get sour, it can be good, it can be bad, but that's what we're here for. We're trying to build a bridge. First of all, as I said in the past, I will not sit here and bash Ghana for what they're doing because sometimes we need, some form of countries like the Caribbean or a country like Ghana, because they've been known to be to have this sort of Pan-African mindset due to Kwame Nkrumah, legacy and stuff like that, to having to speak for Africans and Africans in the diaspora. They have that track record. That's one. That being said, as I said in the past, also I hope this is a good intention of you know um, putting the for me, I think the Black African Americans, for example, African Americans, Caribbeans, and the South Americans should be at the forefront of this whole conversation.
What's going on,
They
brother?
should be at the they should be at the forefront of everything that's happening here. Then the Africans should be probably people that should be used as a platform, to make these things as a legality, because they have the presidency, in the United Nations, who can stand up and speak and get lawyers up together, and they also have more leverage, okay? Because in America at the moment, I don't want to, sound negative, but there's no one. Last all I mentioned, someone like you say Martin Luther King or the great Malcolm X, who's there that would actually advocate these things for the African Americans. So if there's an African leader who have a good intention doing that, fine. But also when Dennis was reading some of these legal documents coming from from this aspect, one thing that worried me a little bit is including the global warming into it, climate change, because that is quite really skeptical to me, because why bring in climate change into this issue? And that's one. Number two, I hope they are not trying to use this as a reason to to use Africa as African leaders as a tool to repatriate, their known, like criminals or people that they don't want in Europe or the West, use that as a platform to bring them back to Africa. And I am very skeptical about a lot of the things that's happening, in terms of this reparation, and also, a lot of people also, like a lot of the wise big heads, have come out and said, look, this is more. It's more about holding the West, making the West feel guilty, about what happened in the past, more than anything to do with financial gains. But also, I actually accept that what M was saying about reparation. I mean, if African leaders really want to help African Americans and the Black Africans in the diaspora, like Caribbeans and the South Americans, they should offer them land. You can give them money; it's not going to work. It's not going to help. Give them land. Give them a decent land where they can actually come and build. I see what they did in Liberia and Sierra Leone in the past. They built Sierra Leone and Liberia from the scratch, and a lot of African countries copied from that. And it was a legacy that carried on, up till now. So they built the first Black university in the Black world in Freetown, in Forobe College, where most Africans studied. They went to Lagos, called Nigeria today. They help teach Nigerians about skills, how to build a city that you see as Lagos today. And also, there are a lot of things that they did globally. They helped stop slavery in the past. And also, they brought that ingenuity with them. So, there's a lot we can gain from the African Americans and the Black people in the diaspora. And I think we should stop using all kind of derogatory terms and trying to argue with them, please, because at the end of the day, there's a lot they can bring. The diaspora are the future of African people. Put it
Of
this way.
course.
Okay, I'll pass the mic. Thank you.
Of course, they need to get involved, work their craft,
Yes.
and get their piece, That's what it is
Thank
on the
you.
international stage. So
Yes.
that's what it is.
All right, go ahead, Taraka.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you're in the background noise, I'm taking a walk. I'll be off soon.
Okay.
Dennis, I'm the one who asked that super chat question from Kemet. Why is Passport King in this? Because this is exactly what he wanted. He didn't want any participation with Ghana and America and FBAs. Let me put it that way. So I don't know how this conversation switched to FBA. Dennis, anything in that article mention America, the Caribbean 18-point plan, whatever you call it?
No, not no. Just
Right.
Well, yes and no, because it mentioned those who were affected by those of African descent. So it did say African descent, so that would include.
Okay, but it was focused on the Caribbean, right?
But it said African descent.
Okay, well, my point is, people like Passport King, he don't, and I agree with him, by the way. He don't want no participation with FBAs and Ghana as far as reparation. They want to be the one who petition the American government, and I think that's the way it should be. They want no part of it, and I think that's the way it should be. So I'm gonna ask Passport King again. Passport King, isn't this what you wanted?
You're right, Tahaka, but guess what? You're also wrong at the same time, and I'm going to prove it to you from the document itself. Please, everybody, to show you know I'm not BSing.
So the document is not good enough for you then? It's not good enough for you?
Talk. You got to let him answer the question.
You got to let me answer. If you look on...
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Oh, sorry. Let me turn the fan off. I forgot about that.
I'm listening.
Yeah, if you look on the actual PDF, if you look on page 3, I got it open right now. Everyone can look, so you know I'm not boo jiving y'all. Look on page 3 and look at the section number 3, where it says we recognize. And if you keep reading, it says civil society partners across Africa, the Caribbean, the Americas. Wait a minute, what is the Americas? What does that include?
The Caribbean. Yeah, it includes the Caribbean and America. You're right. Yeah.
So isn't that still mentioning us? Isn't that still dragging us in there?
Well, that's why I asked Dynasty.
Isn't that? Hold on.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're absolutely right, and they should take that out. They should take it out.
Right after that, number 4, which declares trafficking of enslaved Africans and racial childized enslavement of Africans. Well, wait a minute. Didn't America have chattel slavery? So even if they don't say Black American, African American, FBA, ADOS, DOAS, or any other terms y'all got problems with, we're still in that document. And those are not the only places. Those are just 2 I'm pointing out. So you was right and wrong at the same time, Tahaka, and I land my plane.
Okay, well, I'm glad you correct me. And guess what? They should take it out. They should take that section out.
So there's people advocating for Black Americans on the ground. You understand? There's the diaspora.
I understand, and I know
but
that.
You have to understand.
No, I understand, bro. I was petitioning for everybody, but according to Passport King and a whole lot of them, they don't want to be included. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And let me say this, because I'm not trying to hijack the armed comp. I'll say this real quick.
They come underneath the branch of FBA, innit? That's what they want to do.
I don't care where they come under. They should be removed. Because that's what they want.
Remove yourself from America.
Black American or like African American. So it's different.
You want us removed?
Let me tell you,
get out the country.
and then see how far you get. Let me tell you something. And you could ask You just got on the panel.
You're living off of our country, yet you don't want us to participate.
You just got on the panel. No. I don't want you to.
Then. Go back to Jamaica. See how far you get.
Come put me out, bitch.
I can't see.
I didn't finish yet. Shut up.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Today. We're not touching today.
Dynast?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who is the one that always defend African American for years on this channel? When Brandon, Hustle Smart, and the rest of them lashing out against African American, right? Against FBA. Who is the one to defend them?
We defend ourselves.
Huh?
We defend ourselves.
Dennis, I'm talking to you, bro. You're not gonna answer me? I've been on your show for 11 years. I've been here for 11
Go
years.
back to Jamaica, dude. Don't nobody need you. Go back. No, we don't need you.
Fuck you, man.
I'm talking to her. This is me to Arca-ability. To Arca, you've always been an ally, correct?
Always defend them. When Huss is Smart, Brandon, and a whole lot of others dogging them out,
Don't jump
I'm
off
the
the
one who
board.
defend them. Okay? So this is why I'm saying, because you guys don't know fucking psychology. Okay? If you don't want to be on there, if you keep preaching say you don't want to be on there, and you don't want to be nothing with Caribbean or African, okay, fine. That's what I'm saying. Okay?
And I agree with you,
Now,
Tahar.
you
See, here's the
FBAs
thing.
are going about this the wrong way,
That's what
now.
I'm saying. I agree.
You
I agree
FBAs,
with
yeah, you're
Pastor
going
King.
about this the wrong way,
He's
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Can y'all
This
go
is a
home?
double-edged
Like-
sword. It's a
hold on, like I
double-edged
said,
sword, man. You know what I'm
Listen,
saying?
like
You
I
have to
said,
eat from both
They
plates.
living too good over here. Jamaica ain't got
Can
no
you
money.
go
Y'all
home?
broke.
oh man,
You
go
ain't
go
got nothing
kiss
over
your.
there.
This guy's
Listen,
walking
Y'all
his
broke.
little dog
All right, guys. All right,
You know?
guys. All right.
on these American streets.
Hold on. Let's
I want every one of you guys to come put me out. Come put me out. I live in Decatur, Georgia. Come down here and put me out.
Trump gonna do that for you. I ain't got time for it.
Come put me out, bro.
Oh, guy, we got.
Don't rely on master. You come put me out.
Noah's gonna put you out. Go ahead, Teddy. I got to pass.
Let them come put me out, Dynasty. Let them come put me out.
Yo, you got to be childish,
Come put
man.
me
And
out.
let us
Tarka,
stop this childishness.
I know the neighbors out there must think he crazy.
I gotta pass the mic. Go ahead, Teddy on politics. Go ahead, Teddy on politics.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear
Fucking
me?
idiots.
Hear you.
Yeah, okay. So my question is for the FBA, ADOS, Freedmen, whatever you're calling yourself this week, where is the framework? Where is your multi-point plan for reparations? Where is it? Where is it? And then this question is directed.
They don't have none. They don't have shit.
Let me finish. Yeah,
We really don't need it. We got way more money than Ghana. We got way more money.
They have no power in America. They have no power in America.
Why y'all so thirsty?
What I'm saying, this is my time. Let me finish what I'm saying.
We got way more money than all of them combined, man.
You have no power, bro. You have no power.
Guys, let's answer the core.
Why aren't you living in your homeland, sir?
Teddy is.
I live anywhere, any goddamn where I want, bro. Anywhere I want.
Let Teddy speak. Go ahead, Teddy.
Yeah, okay. My question, the
damn dummy,
is for Passport King. Now you said in the chat that you don't need a diaspora. So why are you even concerned with this framework?
Exactly.
Why are you even concerned? Even if it includes, why are you even concerned with it? Why even be bothered?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and then addressing one of the other brothers said something about why is there environmental issues put in there, because the Caribbean is affected by the climate change. That's why they are affected by climate change with the rising sea levels. Reparations affect different calls for reparations are for different situations. Different countries have different needs and requirements. So just because the requirements of the FBA, ADOS, whatever you want to call yourself in America, just because those requirements are not the same as the Caribbean and the African requirements does not make them non-valid, does not invalidate them. It just doesn't. So the history is different. And so the requirements to address the historical wrongs and atrocities are going to be different. But at least there's a framework out there for all Black folks. Again, this question is for ADOS, FBA, freedmen-minded people. So if reparations are given to Black folks everywhere, you're not going to take it, no matter who initiated it. If Ghana initiated, Nigeria, whoever, you're not going to take it. You're going to say, since Ghana is leading this and the AU and CARICOM are leading the reparations movement or reparations initiative for Black folks everywhere, including you, you're not going to accept it. You're not going to benefit from it. You're going to say, no, we don't want that. Is that what you're saying?
So accepting it and benefit from it are two different things, right? Because
well, you have to accept it to benefit from it.
No, hear what I'm saying. We can
I'm not
accept it,
trying
and
to
it
cut him off,
might
but can
not
you
be
let
a
us know when we're supposed to answer? Because you just keep
right.
speaking. You asked like 3 questions. You
Well,
got to
okay,
give
yeah, I
people a
did ask
chance to respond.
that's my final question. But one other point though is the Caribbean spearheaded by Barbados is reaching out to Africa. They just had a direct flight about 3 weeks ago from Nigeria to Barbados and St. Kitts and Nevis. What is the black folks in America doing?
They need to get involved.
do?
I don't know what they're doing. Like, this is a double-edged sword. You know, you could be doing your thing back at home, and you could be doing your thing on the international stage.
I'll tell you what. Let Willie go first because he was speaking. I wasn't trying to be rude and cut you off. Willie.
Yeah,
I just wanted him to finish
Teddy, may I just because you mentioned something I mentioned about the climate change. You know, I the only reason why I'm a bit skeptical, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I just said I've been a bit skeptical because they could use climate change as a way to restrict future African development, for example, if that was included because of Africa. Because we know for a fact, yeah. So that was my reason for being skeptic. But well, you make some points. I agree. Thanks.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hey, do you know why everybody seems to have this hatred for the FBA ADOS people? It's because they all broke. They took out the IMF loans. Let me ask you this: what does an IMF World Bank loan that you took out and squandered got to do with slavery? You squandered that money. Why you want to get that forgiven? Why do y'all hate us so much, man? We ain't done nothing to you. We let you in our country. We let your ARCA flourish over here, and he ain't got nothing but to stay for us.
They come with
and then furthermore, we all know. Furthermore, on a global stage, this reparations claim is not going to have any type of weight if FBA is not involved. Nobody respects nobody but us. If we not involved, because we suffered the most. What a Ghana run around soul slave trying to get reparations for? It has no credibility whatsoever.
You're not involved because you don't want to be involved.
I'm talking about with y'all. He just said y'all Caribbeans and Ghanaians running around. Y'all have no representation. You don't have Yvette Carnell for one. She should be involved if you're gonna talk about reparations. She's been spearheading for the last 5-6 years. You ain't got her on there. So what you talking about?
You don't want to be involved.
I gotta pass the mic. We got people having spoken.
I haven't spoken.
Speak. Hold on, Willie. If you want to respond, you got a minute. I got to pass it to Menha Castle.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I forgot the question he asked because so many people jumped.
Oh well, let me do this. Let me pass the Menha Castle. Let me pass the Menha Castle. We'll circle back. We'll circle back to you. Menha Castle. Go ahead, Menha Castle.
Thank you, brother Dynas. Everybody, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and buckle up. It is Reverend Green, the man in the high castle. Previously, on Search for Uhuru, the man in the high castle has mentioned several times, get ready for delineation. Y'all have about 7 days over there in South Africa to get out of there. Now, talking about these 19 points, that's none of my business what y'all doing. Stay out of FBA business. Don't mention us no more. Your puppet, corrupt leaders, misleaders, they're going to, what they're going to do. We know what they're going to do. They're going to take all that money, and guess what? The IMF is going to arrest them all, and they're going to take all that money back. You're not going to get a damn dime, but stay out of our damn business. We took on Spain. We took on France. We took on multiple superpowers before the United States became the United States. We have multiple options. But Africa, you're next. We coming for that damn golden stool, and we're running wild on you. All my proud Americans in the live chat,
America, white America already stole the gold.
Now.
They already stole the gold, bro.
USA up in this.
What do you mean they're coming for it? They already got it.
Get out my homeland, sir.
Come put me out. I keep telling you, come put me out.
You can't walk your design. Go back to Toronto.
Bro, come put me out. Come put me out.
Guys, one mic. I'm speaking. Y'all stop.
Go back to
Toronto. One mic. Guys, stop with the go back to your home, man. You can't. You don't have any say over that. So we're gonna stop.
Yeah, come on.
Man. We're stopping that now.
Especially at FBA, they have no power.
Pro-immigration.
They got to wait on white master to do their shit.
Sir, you living on a big piece
You
of
ain't got no
foam.
power, bro. You ain't got no
You sleeping
power.
on a big piece of
You ain't
foam
got
in
no
your
power.
homeland.
You ain't got no power.
You're only
Sir, you
here
have no
because of the
money.
power of Black Americans.
You
Man in
have
the
no
High
That's
money.
Council.
why you
You're
chose to come
impoverished.
live here.
You
Yo,
ain't
You got
got
a
no
mom and
power,
dad,
bro.
your aunts,
Come to
this is
uncles.
for the
Atlanta, see where I
FBAs,
live. I
yeah?
ain't got no money. Come to Atlanta, see where I
You're
live.
just mad because your
Come to
Caribbean
Atlanta,
wife
see where I
left you
live.
for an FBA.
Come to Atlanta, see where I live,
You just
bitch.
mad because your Caribbean
But
wife left you for an FBA.
Come to America. You
how do
talk.
you
See,
make the
Dennis?
argument that we have no
Hold on,
power
guy.
and no
Hold on,
money?
Where's
guy. I
your
You
got you.
see,
legal
Dennis?
corner? Where's the
Now they
legal
talking. Now they
framework?
talking about white.
Guy,
Internet. Internet could hide.
I'm talking.
You
I'm
have
talking.
China man.
Hold on. Hey, man, may I castle, man? I gotta remove you, bro. We leaving women and children out of this. Well, wives, you leaving them out of this. I gotta remove you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta remove you, bro. All right, go ahead, Willie. Go ahead,
Good.
Willie. Go ahead,
So
Willie.
yeah, it's crazy the arguments that I hear because they all seem to be not to respect the African American argument and our place in this conversation, but things like to remove us, right? I don't know how you think you could, like, it's literally like the Knicks getting rid of Jalen Brunson in this reparations argument. No other group has more of an argument, a stronger claim for reparations. And all of your arguments at a
You're
certain point
lying.
in time are going to have to connect to us as well. So to make that argument to remove us is insane.
Do you know what? That
You
works vice
removing
versa. You know
yourself.
that.
FBA and
Vice versa,
ADOS
that
and
works
Caribbean
as
are
well.
removing
You're
themselves.
lying, bro. You're lying, Willie.
Well, let me
And you're wrong.
respond to
You're
what the
lying.
brother just said.
You
Josh,
didn't
we got
suffer
it.
no more than anybody else.
So wait, the other brother just said it applies to everyone, but I don't agree, right? Like a lot of our argument is singularly with America. That's where we start, right? There's even
Facts.
talk of piecemealing the argument, right? Starting reparations
Not necessarily.
strictly,
Look,
strictly. Let me finish.
why do you not
Let
go
me
on like
please,
you're the only
brother.
slaves
I've been
around
very
you
humble.
the only slaves around the
Everyone's
world.
been chimping out. I've been very humble, brother. Please, just let
Then
me finish my point.
in
Let
all
him finish
fairness,
his
let
This
the
point.
is
man
the
speak,
second
please.
time I'm
Yeah.
Yes,
being
let him
cut off,
finish his point.
right? So now someone earlier asked, what plans do Americans have? Well, there are groups of us that are looking to piecemeal the reparations argument and start with education. Education is something that is documented. Plessy versus Ferguson, like the experiences of Frederick Douglass having to learn under the threat of death, right? This is something well documented. This is something we could profit from. This is something that would involve none of y'all, right? So it's not always a two-way street. The one thing we have to agree with is Black Americans are always involved in the conversation because the crime is based on America and the Caribbean. Now, I support anything the Caribbean is doing. They're pretty much in the same box as us, and typically we're more aligned than we disagree, right? But you can't remove us from the conversation. It should be more about respecting our opinion and understanding what we're pushing for. And that always gets lost in the conversation.
But you
Yeah,
can't
brother,
remove the
you
people on the
removing
continent
yourself.
as well.
FBA is
That's where it
removing
started,
themselves.
man.
FBA is removing themselves. Just like Passport King said, he has a problem with the diaspora. You want to separate yourself from the entire initiative. You want to say, well, if we don't run it, if we don't control it, then we don't want to have anything to do with it. That's
You're
the
twisting my
FBA
words.
ADOS.
Hold on. If you're gonna speak on me, let me clarify what you're getting wrong.
No,
What
I'm
I
not
hold
saying
no.
that you.
No. Hold on.
I'm not
No,
saying.
what
I'm
I
not
hold on.
saying
I
that.
just want to
I'm not
clear what
saying
you're
that
saying. No,
you
I'm not
say
picking
that.
a fight.
You did say
Am I
that.
allowed to
He
clarify
did
what
say
you're
that.
getting
He did
You
wrong?
say
did
that.
say that.
He don't want
Okay.
nothing
So
to
let
do
me.
with us.
Okay.
That's what he said.
All right. So let me make it clear in terms of reparations. Let me be crystal clear. Everyone, listen carefully. I don't have a problem with the diaspora. What I have a problem with is the diaspora trying to use the legacy of Black Americans, whether you go by freedmen,
Yeah.
um,
African
ADOS,
American.
I'm not crazy about the African American term, but for the sake of discussion, I will use it for the moment. But we know
Thank you,
why that
brother.
term is problematic.
Why?
DOAS
Out
or
of curiosity,
FBA.
why?
Hold on. The reason why I don't want us being dragged in because we are more than capable of dealing with the U.S. government ourselves and getting in ourselves. And I know people are going to suck their teeth and laugh, but let me say this real quick. I don't know where this notion comes from that Black Americans, I want to just use that term, But we understand what I mean by Black Americans, non-immigrant Black Americans. I don't know where this notion is coming from that we are helpless and we need a diaspora. Let's check this real quick. Where was the so-called diaspora during America's Civil War? I don't remember any troops coming from Africa or coming from the Caribbean and fighting to free the slaves. Where was y'all?
You're lying. You don't know your history.
Wait.
I'll
I
tell
said
you
this.
where the
You don't know your
diaspora
history.
was. I can tell you where the diaspora
we're
was.
all in the
Wait a
same
minute.
boat, you know.
Haiti
Hold on.
specifically.
So
We're
troops
all in
came
the
from
same boat.
Africa
We're
and
all
came
in
to
the
the
same
Caribbean.
train.
And
You
hold on, wait a
understand?
minute, hold on. It either happened or it did not happen. There's no in between. There's no mental gymnastics. Did Africa or the Caribbean send troops to the United States to fight in America's Civil War to help free the slaves? It either
How the
happened
hell
or
can
it didn't
they?
happen.
They're under
In,
control.
All right, so that's
individual
a
was
no.
there, bro.
Okay, good. So stop right there.
Individuals was there,
Hold on.
Passport
Okay,
King.
so good. Hold on. So we got that clear. Now let's come back to civil rights. We'll say between the 1950s and 1960s was Africa and the Caribbean sending people during the civil rights movement to help defend churches for being burned in the South like the Deacons of
Hey,
Defense.
yeah. What the point you're making doesn't make any sense.
Hold on, is it your
Because
yes or no?
look,
No,
let me tell you
no.
something.
There's
Hey,
no
hold on.
cap here.
What you're saying is
Now
rubbish,
see,
yeah?
that's why. Hold on.
Hold
No, it's
on,
not
hold on.
rubbish.
Let me show you. Let me show you something.
That's
Favor of
historic
our
Let me
fact.
civil
show you
rights
Either
fight.
something.
happened
Let me
or
show you
didn't
something,
happen.
yeah?
So, man
You
in
have
the
to
high
understand,
castle, I
yeah?
get what you're
You
saying. They
have
didn't
to
send
understand
troops.
the continent went through a Holocaust.
Let's see your
So,
You
mental
understand?
yeah,
gymnastics
that's
about
We
relevant.
got our own like
So,
internal
man in the high
problems, like
castle, I agree with you. They didn't send troops, right? But many of their leaders were vocal in speaking in favor of our civil rights fight. I can give them that. But troops, you do
It,
make a valid point. No one sent
Was
troops.
Marcus Garvey not Jamaican, if I'm not mistaken?
Bro, bro,
I'm even
All
talking
bro,
on
right.
the
So
continent,
what that
Lumumba.
means
I'm not.
is,
bro,
so hold on.
Oh yeah,
bro,
in the
look,
Let's
continent,
understand facts.
100%.
I
Yeah.
look,
backs me up. We've been on our
Yeah.
own. So this
look
notion that we need you on the diaspora, this is some modern, basic,
Passport King.
We
crazy
can go back. We can go
delusion
Based,
of
back
Let him
before the
finish.
uh,
Let him
grandeur.
Civil War,
We
finish.
can't
before the
based
Let
on
him
Civil
your,
Rights
finish.
based,
Movement, and prove that
Yeah.
Passport King, you're
Englishmen
making my
were
point.
helping
Let
You're
African
making my
Passport
point.
finish. Let him finish.
You're making my point.
Let
No,
him
I finished
finish.
already. I don't know where this
it's a
delusion
shame,
of
okay.
grandeur
Okay,
comes
well,
from.
I
you're
didn't
making
even
my point.
hear.
You don't
That
want
we're begging
FBA,
the
don't want to be
yo,
in
diaspora
it.
for help.
let me
FBA
come in
don't
here.
want no
Let me
part
come
of
in.
it. So
Look,
that's it.
it's a shame.
so look, the
I
whole point, yeah.
gotta pass the mic to Good King Justice. Go ahead, good King Justice.
Peace, bro. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Before I make my point, I just want to say this. Sometimes I just sit back in the cut when your show is on, Dynasty, and I just get confused because I hear everybody talk about their professions and their lifestyle and how much money they get them. But then I hear y'all just fucking argue for 3 hours and can't agree on nothing. So I feel like we do this channel a disservice because I know the people that's coming here could do a lot better coming together. But that ain't my point. My point is, what leverage does Africa have to get reparations from anybody? And what organizational unity do we as Black Americans have to get reparations from anybody?
I'll answer that. Africa has the
Great
African
question.
Union. African has the African Union. What
Oh,
organization?
dude.
What?
Oh, man. Oh,
Man,
Teddy.
No,
Teddy,
no,
that's
no.
wrong.
Let me finish.
Teddy, come on,
Africa
man.
has, they do
Eddie.
have.
No,
It's an
no,
organization. They do have.
no.
What organization in America do Black folks have? Name one.
The
But
Name one.
Democratic
Teddy,
we
You
don't
can
Party.
say
have
all the
we don't have
problems you
one
want.
either,
You
but
can say
Africa
all you
The
doesn't.
want
When we
about
talk about
DNC.
leverage, we talk about
the negative things
military
about the
might.
AU. You can
The
talk about it all
DNC.
day. You can talk about how the negative things that AU, but at least it's something. It's something. CARICOM is something. Where is the Black American, African Americans
HR
organization?
40. Our
HR 40,
organization
that's
We
that
not
got
an
the
will.
U.S.
organization.
Hold on.
Toothless
That's
dogs.
a
That's what
resolution
y'all
that
talking
hasn't
about.
gone
Hold
anywhere
on.
in
Hold
60
on.
years.
That's easy
Our
to answer. You know what we
organization.
got?
that ain't even
Hold on.
Our
recognized
We got
anywhere.
U.S.
organization
citizens.
that we
Hold on. We
use.
got
Our
U.S.
That's not
organization
citizenship.
that
recognized
we
anywhere.
We got
Where's
use.
U.S.
that
Our
recognized?
citizenship.
organization that we
We got
Yeah,
the
where is
use
Civil
to
that
Rights Act
pass.
of
recognized?
Our
1866.
organization that we
We got
use
the
to
13th,
pass
14th,
the
15th
very same
Amendment.
acts that you died on yesterday has been the Democratic Party. That's how we got our Voter Rights Act, our Civil Rights Act. Right now, the response to that is going to be you have no power over there, but I don't even believe top Democratic officials would agree with that. right? So we do have places where we do have presence and power. And in terms of American politics, right, we are an important factor in democratic,
No, it's different
you know,
between being an
place.
important factor, and that could be debated between being the factor. That's the difference. We are not the factor. We don't decide anything regarding politics in America, and that's just
exactly. I agree completely. And there's no organization that does that for Black folks in America.
Okay, now we in agreement. Now let's go to Africa. What military might does Africa have to force anybody to give reparations?
I have problems with both of them. I have problems with both of them, both of those organizations as well. But that doesn't mean that I'm not supportive of those organizations when it comes to fighting for Black folks globally.
I take.
Correct.
Can I go, please?
Guys.
Can I go?
It's still good King Justice turn. Go ahead, good King Justice.
Nah, I pass. I'm just saying we don't have on either side. Africa has no military power to where they can force America or any of these other governments to give us reparations. And us in America, although we have money, we don't have an organizational unity amongst ourselves. We have no unified agenda,
that, brother. And that's why I brought up HR 40, right? That is a documented political push. Right.
Now,
so
HR 40,
really, all Black Americans don't agree on HR 40.
You know how long it's been sitting in committee? You know how long it's been sitting in committee?
So that means
you know who started HR 40, who initiated, who submitted that?
So that means there was organization to push.
There was no organization. That was submitted. That was submitted. HR 40 was
not understanding what I'm saying.
Who was no longer alive.
Democrats. We got to be honest. That's garbage.
Back in the 80s,
the Black Masters of Business Association group, right? They were involved in pushing for that. So that's
really, let's be real. The masses of Black Americans are apolitical, bro.
Hold on.
You asked for a
Where's the political influence?
Guys. One.
Dennis, can you give me one? Can you give me 1 second?
Political influence. Where is it?
What mic?
Dennis, can you give me a second, please?
One mic. Good King Justice. Are you done?
Nah, yeah, I'm here, bro.
All right, let me pass the mic to Principe. Principe.
What's up? Salute to you, Dynas, man. I'm hearing the conversation and I'm kind of confused because one is I hear FBA type people talking about people shouldn't talk on reparations, but like I said yesterday, there are different organizations in the African American community. You have people like I mentioned yesterday, like Al Sharpton, Ben Crump. These individuals are in conversations with the African Union. This African American community is already in Ghana in discussion with the Ghanaian government. And even when you go historically, upon independence of Ghana, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X went over there. Even Malcolm X has ties and had a desire. One of the reasons of which he got deleted was because he was trying to link the international claim of reparations with the, I forgot the old name of the AU. Stop it, mama. The old name of the AU, but there was an organization before the AU was there. The Africans on the panel, they will know. He was trying to link the reparations claim with that organizations, and then he even came back to start his own organization with a similar name. If you look it up, so there's a clear-cut connection between the reparations claim of the African American community and the international community. And besides the FBA community, which is only one organization, and the ADOS, another organization within the African American community, there's other organizations in the African American community that wants to work with Africa, and that FBA claim they're not even African, so I don't even know. And some of them deny the existence of the slave trade. Some of them claim that the ships didn't even come here. So what the hell they got to do with this conversation? I don't know. But I passed the mic.
Yeah, I mean,
that was a great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry, if I may, if
that was the
if I may, this is where my
most of the panel doesn't understand.
Hold on. What mic? Kid, go ahead, Kidola.
Okay, thank you, Dynas. I think most of people, don't understand what Ghana and the Caribbeans are just doing. They're just about. This will lead to a lot of business, so that they will not be locked up in a way that their business will be by the United States. This not just all about try to get some sedative from the Europeans that they dealt with them. You have to understand some of these people that they took from Africa under what we call slavery also have family members. They have father, they have sisters, they have everybody. So even when they took some of these people away, as they were crying, the one at home was also crying. So pain was also in everywhere. These are not special people. These are not just, oh, let me go to these special people and pick these people there and just vanish them just like that. They have grandmother, they have father, they have sisters, they have brothers, who are also in anguish. If they have to do a really deep DNA test, you start seeing fifth generations of cousins, brothers, half brothers, somewhere. None of these people are special people or special human beings, superhuman beings. These are people who came out of people also. So when you start saying, "Oh, Africans, we're not Africans," then who are you there? How do you came there? How you become human being? What this business is going through that people don't understand is about how to establish businesses between the Caribbeans and the native Africans, back home. If that is established, without America is not disturbing them or disturbing their flight directly from Africa continent to some of these Caribbean countries, investment will be everywhere that will benefit both sides, both Ghana, Nigeria, and other African countries. This is just a beginning. The more they come close together, the CARICOMs and the African Union or the West African Union, this will be a very big space for them to do business together, so that Haiti will definitely be free from the other one from Dominican Republic hands, and the other one that will make them not to gain who they are as a human being. That's what this is all about. But this is about whatever they're sitting down now. But this is a big picture. This is a very big picture between these two families to come together and be together. For the NBA that's always saying, don't involve. It's a pity. To deal with you people will be very, very difficult. Even inside United States, because you people are scattered everywhere. Oh, don't speak for me as I'm not African and everything. And the ones that have people that they can represent their country, because Black Americans is not a country, but you can see those that are representing the country are now selling their intellectuals to draft to write a draft at the beginning before you start knowing it now become draft of treaties and all kind of things, free access to business, free marketing, and everything, and movement of people. Everything will be banned.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, just like
let's
what
talk strategy.
yo.
Let's talk strategy for a second, right? Understand, African Americans don't have any energy or resources to give other than anything that's directly pushing for our fight, right? Now, our fight begins here. To ask us to come under the banner of something else, right, is problematic. Now, if you can accept that, then if you're asking America for anything, Black Americans are going to be voting on whether we should even care about it, right? So there is an element, if Africa wants this to work, you would want to have some type of line, some type of say and voice on the inside of the defendant, the person you're going after. And we're here, we have, to what most of us are agreeing with, a similar fight, right? But Black Americans can't be eclipsed in this conversation and be represented by someone else. We won't allow that. So it's not that we don't support anything anyone else is doing, but understand, if you do that without us, without our support, without our voice, you open up a can of worms that will take your fight nowhere. And I'll land right there.
Then you really don't care. You really
Yo,
don't
can I
care about
say
Black
something really real
folks.
quick?
You really don't care about Black folks. If your ego is in the way of Black progress globally, you really don't
So
care about Black
understand.
folks, Black Americans, Black people anywhere.
Right,
You
so
just look at
All
understand,
I
it's
can
not
hear,
Black
all I
folks.
can
about
hear,
You don't want
it's
point of
not
to be
about
objection.
included.
ego.
You don't want
I'm
to
telling you
humble
this,
yourself.
right?
You don't want to
I'm
humble
not an
yourself to
FBA.
be
Hold on.
included in the advancement of Black folks globally, which includes you.
It
Which
doesn't
Willie,
includes
you are
you.
include,
FBA,
no,
bro. You
wait,
just don't want to
it
say it.
doesn't include
You're
me,
FBA.
right? It doesn't
Nah, Willie
Willie,
include
you're
me
African American.
FBA.
because I am not FBA. I'm an African American, right?
What
Yeah,
he
But
You're
said,
that does not
pretending. You're
mean
he's
pretending.
that
stating, he's
does not
Dynasty
stating.
is
mean I'm an
African American.
African. That doesn't
Dynasty is
mean
African
anything that
American, not you.
benefits the continent will necessarily benefit me. It's like I always say about Pan-Africanism. It benefited the kids in Soweto way more than it ever benefited the kids in Baltimore. We have to
No,
acknowledge these truths and
ADOS
actually
How's
and
it?
have
FBA
Willie.
Hold on. How is
and
it not going to
don't
actually
benefit
have
you?
Ayo.
How is it not going to
When you
benefit you if
brothers
the
on
right.
the
continent
Exactly.
content
How is it
prospers?
not going to
speaking,
benefit you?
when you brothers
How?
speak, not even man in the high castle interrupts y'all. None of us interrupt y'all. Every time one of us gets the floor, and we don't even all agree, there's a whole conversation
Go on,
that
you
at some
land,
point
land.
me and man in the high castle have to have. But understand, all of y'all, every time we speak, y'all cut us off. Y'all show the decorum that y'all ask for from us,
Go on,
right?
land.
Like, it's
No, Willie,
crazy.
can I ask Willie a question real quick pertaining to a lawsuit that's going on right now? Can I read it to you,
I
Willie?
probably don't know about it because I'm not a lawyer. I'm in finance. So I can tell
No,
you
no, no. But
about
it's the
mergers
Trump
and
administration has
acquisitions.
joined a
Go ahead.
lawsuit attempt to stop the first of its kind reparation plan that would compensate black residents of Chicago suburbs, arguing that race-based criteria are unconstitutional. What do you not feel that that lawsuit ties into the greater picture in that the international backing of those countries and even them having them declare that slavery was one of the worst crimes of humanity helps the case to whichever black lawyer, African American lawyer that argues this case in the courts?
No,
Yeah, that don't
because
help, bro.
our reparations claims under American law are very direct. They're for very specific things. So someone
No.
else's claim
The same
millions
government
of
told you
miles of
no. We
That's
don't
fine,
believe.
though.
We don't believe in the atrocity.
every
That
single
means that we're
time.
not going to. We're not going to even address the idea of reparations for any. It's the same government that has told you no.
And
That's
what's
the
your
government
point?
that you're referring to.
Yes.
That is the point.
Yes.
That is the point.
So right. So here's the thing. This is the same government that didn't want to allow us to be free, right? But somehow we managed to get that. This is the same government that wanted us to subject ourselves to living under Jim Crow laws. But I show my ass all through the South every chance I get. So yes, the American government, white America, has always opposed us. You have an extraordinary grasp of the obvious. I'll give you that. But what's your
Willie, let
point?
me interject real
I
quick, not to
think.
break your
Do you know
thought.
what?
Hold on.
Do you know what? Let
Let
me
me
come
answer
in.
Teddy. Whoa. I haven't spoken for a minute. He talking about the American government said no, and I want to speak on that. You know, part of the reason why they said no, and this is the part that matters, because when they refer to Ghana, they refer to them as not being the recipient of the traditional harm done. And you know why they said that? Because Ghana was a active participant in the slave trade. That's been one of my number one criticisms why this
Co-defendant.
whole thing
Nah,
is going.
that ain't
Hold
why
on,
they
don't
said
cut me
no,
off.
bro.
Co-defendant.
That's been my
No.
number one
America
criticism.
told you
Hey,
no.
no. Stop.
America
Listen, see,
told
this
all
your
black
problem.
folks
Y'all don't
everywhere
want to
no.
listen. Y'all
They
don't want to
didn't
listen.
just tell black
No.
folks in
See,
America no.
you
They
talking
told
and don't
black
want to
folks
Can
listen.
y'all
everywhere
let
no.
the
No, we
Hold
brother
heard
on.
you,
finish
bro.
You
making his
just babbling
point?
and don't want to listen. The
Like y'all are
government
proving
said,
exactly what I said. Every time we speak, y'all cut us off. Can the brother
thank you,
speak?
Willie. And this is why
Well,
y'all can't
get your facts
learn.
straight. Get your facts straight. Then maybe we wouldn't have to cut you off.
No,
Get your facts
you're not
straight.
even letting me finish.
You
You're
know
getting
how
so
dumb y'all
emotional,
sound
you're
all day and I
blurting
don't
out and
cut
not
y'all off?
listening.
I
When
wait
I
for
was
the debate.
quiet, I was
I wait
quiet for
for the
like a
bet
good
to
10
prove you
minutes.
wrong.
And you know what I'm doing? I'm not twiddling my thumbs. I'm actually listening. I'm hearing what everyone's saying, not because I'm listening to respond. I'm trying to understand everyone's perspective, because just
Nah, we
because I
heard you, bro. We just
disagree,
disagree,
just
fam.
because I disagree with someone, it doesn't mean I know I can be sometimes a bit curt in the way I speak, but just because I disagree doesn't mean I'm insulting people or think that they're stupid. It just means, hey, there's maybe an angle you're not considering, or maybe you're missing this piece of information, which is what I'm trying to do now. Part of the reason why the US government said no, because they said specifically, and this is the part where they're right on, that Ghana is not a part of the party that's the aggrieved victim, meaning that they recognized that Ghana was actively involved in the slave trade. Look, no one denies the fact that the U.S. government has slavery. No one denies the fact that Spain, England, European countries was involved in the slave trade. Everyone knows that. It's history, right? Here's the problem. You got African nations like Ghana that to this day, they're trying to act like they was helpless victims, that these big, powerful white men came in, futuristic, military vehicles that were just snatching Africans left and right, and there was nothing they can do. That's not what happened.
No, it's exactly what
Certain
happened.
tribes in Ghana was involved in the slave trade, abducting, kidnapping Africans, and selling them to the Europeans. And they wasn't the only one.
That's not only in Ghana,
hold
though. That's
on.
not
I
just
know what you're
Ghana.
gonna say
That's
next.
entire West Africa.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's entire West
And it
Africa.
wasn't just Ghana. Let me say this.
Yeah.
There was a civil war. There was a civil war, yeah?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't care if you want to say there was prisoners of war. I don't care if people want to say, well, Ghana didn't exist. Well, the tribes that are a part of present day Ghana still exist that was involved in the slave trade. The president of Ghana is a descendant of one of the slave-owning tribes. Hell, that woman, what's her name? Wanger something that's involved in SFS. It came out, she's a descendant of slave owners. So what we're gonna do? We want to pretend that history don't exist because it makes some of y'all across the
No, I don't
water
think we should.
uncomfortable.
Okay.
You know how
I understand your
disingenuous
point.
that is?
Passport King, I understand your point, but does that Passport King? I understand your point. Sorry, no, sorry. 1 second.
You got all this
I understand his point. No, 1 second. I'm just trying to respond to him.
Other group that did anything. You
Okay,
get white.
I understand his point. Okay, but Passport King, but also we're actually dealing with. Are you saying we should be dealing with the Europeans also who were involved in the slave trade? Because this is a general. I mean, making any sense. And basically, I totally agree to most of the points that you're making. But to say because the Ghanaian president, his tribe were involved in transatlantic slave trade, so therefore he have no guilt or he have no right to put the wrong, to right, to stand up for what he believes as a person.
Yeah,
That
but
doesn't sink right to me.
got you. But then the
Come on.
question becomes,
Okay,
what are you
look,
gonna do
Africa,
to
no
right your
disrespect. I
wrong?
actually
Yeah,
respect you. It may not sit
yeah.
right
Thank
with
you.
you, but look, we can't look, we're not gonna play deaf and dumb. We see the play being run. What Ghana is doing, let me be clear. Let me say Ghana's
Okay.
government, because when I mention the country, y'all take it like I'm attacking the people. So let me say Ghana's government. What Ghana's government is doing is basically running a bait and switch scam. They're trying to act
I have a
like
lot of
that.
In Ghana,
skepticism.
hold
I
on.
agree.
In Ghana, there's
No,
tribes
hold on.
that were victims.
Yeah, I agree
So
with a
you
lot of the
can't speak on the behalf of
Can
skepticism
the
the
that you're
victims.
brother
making.
finish?
I agree,
Can the
Pastor
brother
King.
finish?
I'm very skeptical in a lot of these things. I
Thank
agree
you.
with
See,
that.
we
I'm being
agree.
very
I
skeptical.
want to hear more
But,
about that passport, about the bait and switch. Break that
Because
down.
look,
but,
Bro,
let me
yeah.
give
y'all
you.
just
Hold on.
spoke.
Let me
Can I
prove
say
it right
something real
now to
quick,
show.
man?
Hold on, I can prove it right now. Remember when Ghana's president came to the UN, he gave this speech and he started talking about the
Mhm.
transatlantic slave trade? Let me show you one part of the bait and switch. He said Africans was picking cotton. So he's trying to talk about that as being a part of the. Wait a minute. What do you mean Africans were picking cotton? You mean enslaved Negroes? Because once they were sold, they was property. They had no more ties to Africa. So there was no Africans in the 13 colonies that became the United States of America picking cottons.
They
Negroes,
were
whether
Africans.
Yeah, see, that ain't
they
true
They
were
at all,
were
bro. That's where you're gonna
Africans.
lose the.
no,
Bro,
they
there
They're
has
was
to
still
be
no
a point
African,
where
even
we
though
can
they're
write
Africans.
about
Africans.
Africans,
where
blood.
their
There was
Oh
no
my
tribes
longer
even
God.
come from.
Yeah,
Africans.
Even
historical
though
You're
they,
fact.
trying to
even
go
though
like the
I
people
understand.
speak
No,
from the
no, but
continent
no,
where
but
no
no,
This
African
might
Passport
not be
King
people.
with
is
Where
Al.
did
This
this
might just be
come
with
from?
Al,
Of
man.
nowhere.
This
one.
might just be
Passport
with
King is
Al.
right. Once
Al,
they
Al,
also
stand
they
here.
were
Hold on,
properties.
Al.
What? Okay, go on.
We
But
were
1 second, let me just. He's
citizens
right
of
on saying
nowhere.
once they
They
sold,
were
they were
chattel
properties,
property.
but they're
What he
also
just said is
Africans.
correct.
No, they're
Okay,
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
they
No,
were
you know why?
Africans. There
Have
were
y'all
no
heard the tree
African
of hold
Americans
on?
before
Have you hold
1868.
on?
Get your facts
Hold
straight.
on, hold on. Have y'all heard the tree of forgiveness? It wasn't enough just to sell them to the Europeans as property. They did little rituals to sever the ancestral connection to Africa.
Which
So you mean to
proves they
tell
were
me
still
after all of
Africans,
that, y'all want
brother.
to claim the African centuries later?
Even if you
Bro,
don't want to
Well,
the
believe
well,
it,
blood is
they
still
well,
need
African,
it.
man. It doesn't matter whether you like it or
okay,
not.
we can flip this. You can flip the coin as much as we like it. Okay, it's either gonna be head or tail. Okay, this is how it is. So what we're trying to do here, we're trying to deep dive into the document and actually pick out the bones. And we shouldn't be pointing fingers here. We should try and make sense out of it. And if there is fraud or there's fraud in it, we should expose it. All of us here, not just FBA or African Americans or the Caribbean brothers or the African brothers. We should. And the one thing we all agree on here. The African Americans and the Black Caribbean and those in South America who were the children of this suffered the slave trade. They should be at the forefront of this. And this is coming from an African person. And
I
if you
respect
ask
that.
majority of Africans, they will tell you that's exactly their point. Okay. And I hope the president of Ghana, when he's doing this, that's what he meant. Because otherwise he go down in history as the worst ever,
And
African leader
and
who's
so now
trying to
look,
represent
brother.
Nah, he
the
can't be
So
people of
worse
the
than
Look,
the
so
I
diaspora.
look,
think I
president,
brother.
think
though.
um I
Look
think
at our apprehension, right?
FBAs
If
and,
we
and
look at
black
the
then
Americans,
framework
then
of it, right?
then
We don't
also
see
then
any
also
framework
then
saying
also
if
they're
we
the Africans
missing the
also
win
have a
point.
this,
case.
They're
this
missing the
is
One
bigger
being
second.
picture.
allotted
Wall Street,
to
exactly.
make
Also, the Africans
African
also have a case
Americans and
as a
hold
secondary.
on,
Sorry, Wall Street,
hold on.
really.
Let me
The
respond to
Africans
what you
also
just
have a
said
case
before
as a
you go too much further.
secondary. Okay,
Before you go too
okay,
much
yeah.
further, right? Here's the
Oh
problem
God,
with that
okay.
because what you just
Mm,
said I
mm,
like, right? The problem is there's nothing
mm.
in the framework when we're looking at the framework of what Ghana's asking for that directly benefits us. There's nothing allotted directly for the real victims of this sad event, right?
It benefits
There's nothing in the
everybody.
framework that says 15% of
Oh,
what
Jacob,
we can
man.
come home with will go to the HBCU programs to make sure African Americans can get the education
Uh,
they need, right, to help lead the
Tahaka, you got a
charge
bad
in
connection. You're
terms of
breaking up.
STEM, in terms of
mm.
STEM and things of that nature going forward. There's nothing that clearly benefits us in the framework. It's almost like you're trying to tell us, trust me, and give us a handshake. Everybody's saying it benefits everyone, right? I don't deal with spiritual separations. I deal more with law. Show me in the framework where the money's coming back here. Because like I said, and I'll land here, I'm an African American, right? I ain't no FBA or none of that. But what I know about being an African American is I'm not an African. I'm now my own people in a far off land, right? We delineated a long time ago when we were the Negro problem, when they saw the Civil War coming and they were trying to get rid of us and send
That's
us back
true.
to Liberia. And what we knew was we were being
Mm.
sent, guess what? To colonize Liberia. We worked with the American Colonization Society and subjected them folks to horrors, right? Those people didn't look like Charles Taylor, right? So I
Uh,
always say Liberia has one of the best reparations claims on a strictly African level that I would, support. But I'm just saying when we hear Ghana at the forefront, you got to show me in the
I
paperwork
said this
where me and
yesterday.
my
I mean,
kids here benefit.
countries should like Liberia, Sierra Leone should be ahead of this preparation talk. And I said that, but and also I'm very skeptical
No,
about
bro.
everything.
The head
So
of the
Hold on.
reparations should be
Can
African
I?
Americans, Haitians, and
I'm saying they
Jamaicans.
no,
should be
That's
at
what I'm
the head of
saying.
In Africa,
African
if it's coming from
reparations. They
If
should
it's
be at
coming
the
from
head of
Africa,
African
if it's coming from
reparations.
Africa,
And
that's
I
my
would be
point.
a
Yeah, go
whole
on.
snitch. I would
Mm.
stand up. I would say, yeah, we sent all the light-skinned Negroes. I got the history for you, right? We was working with the ACS, and they've been working in Virginia and Philadelphia. And yeah, they recolonized those
But
people.
Willie, you
They
know they was like descendants of slave masters themselves. Them was free people of color that went back.
This is my point. Like the white folk used us to go colonize them. But what you do find, even in that moment, is 99.99999% of us knew who we were. We were African Americans. We were of African lineage, but on the road to being American citizens. We were our own people. So we can't keep convoluting the conversation, right? Because that may work in a land like Nigeria where you have all these different people, Fula, Igbo, whatever. Over here, we're African American or FBA. It kind of
Okay, that still
overlaps.
goes back to my question. What leverage do we have over here to force America to give us reparations?
So,
We got
None.
plenty of leverage.
I view our participation in politics here having a lot of potential to do a lot of things, right? They didn't even want us not to be chattel property. We beat that. We beat some way stronger fights, right, than for a couple dollars. I believe America, one of the ways I would ask for reparations in America, right, because I know white folk, they don't want to give money to people who aren't productive citizens. Cool. Give us a multi-generational tax break, right? Now, that tax break at my tax bracket, forget about it. I might start a school. But even at the fast food window, right? That kid is making 35,000. And when I say kid, 27, 28, making 35,000 a year. That tax break, that extra 7, 8,000 that he would now just have free reign on, yeah, that could have an impact. And what we do from it, what we do with it from there, that's our business. It's either going to be a reason for people to respect us or not, right? But yeah,
You think
there's
a
a
tax
lot of.
break is sufficient for all our ancestors went through over here?
I think it's a fight we can
No,
win.
no, we're not gonna just do
I
tax
think it's a
breaks.
fight we
That's
can
not a
win.
good idea.
Can I say something
Hold
real
on.
quick?
Let me answer this question and I'll stop. I
You've been
think it's a
speaking for a
fight we
minute,
could
bro.
win, right? I think that is something when you just deal with American politics. The one thing even white folk feel like we're all overtaxed, right? If you're asking for America to dig in its coffers and pay you anything, I know white America well enough from my time on the golf course to know they're not going to pay you nothing. But if we make the argument, let us pay ourselves, right? Just take your hand out of our pocket for 100 years. You know what I mean?
So, what
80 years,
reparation would you like
something
from Africa also?
multi-generational.
What about Africa? What reparation would you like from the African continent also?
Give us
What would
our
be
So,
own nation.
your
so,
Give us
so
uncultivated
wait, that's
land where we
another
can carve
great
out our
question.
own nation and leave
That's
us
another
alone.
great
That's all we
question.
need.
That's another great
okay?
question.
That
And
makes
let me
sense.
just
I agree
answer
with that.
that, right?
Hmm.
I want more support
The
from
problem is
Africa
FBA
than
don't
I
want none to
actually
do with
want
Africa. What are you guys talking
I
about?
want,
That's it.
That's the
hold
only
on.
That's
You
the
problem. If
asked a
you're
good
problem.
FBA,
question. It was a
yeah.
great question. I want
FBA
Okay.
don't want
support.
anything to do with Africa.
I'm not FBA, fam. I'm
Yeah,
African
Taharka,
Some
why
American.
do
black
you come on
Americans
this
don't want
show
it
Part
as
of the
and
well.
listen to
African
all these African
Methodist
Americans and still call us
Episcopal
FBA?
Church that was built in the damn near the 1700s. African Methodist Episcopal Church. My people knew who we were, right? FBA is 6 years old, so please don't insult me, right? So now, can I answer the brother's question? God damn it, I forgot the question, but it was a good one. What
He
was
was
the
asking
last
you,
Yeah.
Well,
what
question?
was the
All
reparations
right.
we need?
all you
What
talk
you
about
want
is
from Africa?
African
What
American.
what do you
Willie,
what do
you've
you
been going for
yeah,
All
a
you're
minute.
What
no,
was
talking
the
he
about
said
is
what do
question?
you
African
expect
American.
from Africa?
Tahaka, Tahaka,
What
Wait,
does
hold
Tahaka.
on.
Let him
reparation
Wait,
for
answer.
wait,
Africa
wait.
look like?
That was the
Yeah,
question.
but all he's
What do
talking
we
about is
want?
African
The
American. That's what
brother
they want.
asked, but wait, the brother asked, what do we want from Africa?
Yeah,
Right?
we
That's what
want a
he
nation.
asked. Not about bringing
You shouldn't have
Africa
asked you that.
into, hold on, that's what he asked me. He didn't ask about me bringing Africa into the reparations argument. He asked what we want from Africa, which is a can of worms that could be opened up in this push. But what I would answer him and say is, I want your support. I don't want y'all to flip the bill. Y'all don't even have enough to flip the bill for what would impact my life, right? We're focused on America. Now, that's where a lot of us get uncomfortable with different arguments under the framework of reparations being presented. It can kind of dilute our argument. But we have a direct adversary who we're shooting at directly. We're not involving
Okay.
you. Even as guilty as Africa may be on certain things, we're not even trying to, we can respect that argument that even
Okay.
when we signed those treaties and made those deals, we were under duress. We can respect that, right? We're shooting at America, but we have to be careful when we allow other people to make our arguments. And we have been making progress
Africa,
over the
you
last
got
year.
the answer, right?
So
You
I'll
got the
land there.
answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop mentioning them.
Yeah.
You got the
Mm,
answer. What
mm,
every week is the same argument.
mm.
That's what I'm telling you. I give up.
Yeah,
They don't want to, so leave them alone.
Okay, Willie,
Yo,
you've been going on for a while.
so
Can I
wait,
speak?
let me ask him
Hello,
a question.
Willie,
Let me come in.
Willie,
Let
can
me
I
come.
speak? You've been speaking for like
I
5
think Black
minutes.
Americans
The
are
brother
missing the
wants the
point.
floor. Let's give him the
You're
floor. But I
missing the
want to ask
point.
It
you,
doesn't matter if
how
they're
do you
missing the
make
point.
Yo,
It doesn't matter.
how do you make
the
a
point is, yeah, the point
reparations
is, we ain't
argument
asking. We're
dealing
not
with the
asking for
1800s,
kumbaya.
There is
Yeah,
no point.
ain't no one asking for like
Wait,
kumbaya.
let me
Look,
just ask him
it's
a
just
simple question.
There is
economic
How do
no
you
point.
unity,
make,
blood.
as Africa, a reparations
Economic
argument
unity. You
dealing
understand?
with
We're
the
we're trying to
1700s,
free
No, we don't
the
need
ourselves.
no unity. They don't
1800s
want a unity.
without
No,
involving
they
the
don't want it.
export? How do you,
They don't want
no,
to be
I'm
free.
asking you a
Then
question, Tahaka.
they
Okay,
don't want to be
hold
You
on,
free.
won't let them.
Tahaka, did you hear the
Okay,
question?
fine. That's what I'm saying.
okay.
So Tahaka, I
You don't
got
want
Yeah,
to
you.
one
be
at a
free,
time. One at a
man.
time.
Now, Tahaka, I'm asking you a simple question and I'm going on mute.
Go ahead.
How do you make a reparations argument as Africa without involving the export, right? If you're gonna create a
Who's
if you're gonna
doing that?
create
You,
if you're
because
gonna
Who's
because
create
doing
you
Hold
that?
on,
are not
Willie,
the
Willie,
only
hold on,
one, bro.
Willie.
You think
Who's
you're the
doing
only?
it?
You're not the only one. That's the
Al
problem.
Sharpton, hold on. Al Sharpton spoke at that function that they had during Juneteenth in
Nah,
Ghana.
we ain't gonna
So
play that
the idea
game.
that
No,
African
no.
Americans were
Al
not there is
Sharpton
a
is
fictional
not
narrative.
president of Black America. We're not playing that game.
We
He is
don't
a
have a
that
DC
No,
wasn't
president.
African
That's
my
chair.
not
Americans
what I
were there.
mean.
They
argument.
What?
were.
No, we're not
Hold
playing
on,
that
hold on, hold
game.
on, hold on,
Wait,
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
that
on,
was
hold on.
never
Can I
my
say something too?
argument that
I
African
dropped.
Americans
Hold
aren't
on. You just
there.
finished speaking. Hold on, bro. I dropped the article in the background from the Guardian, right? And the Guardian article is talking about a lawsuit that's happening in Illinois, right? Where your president, the same president you claim is denying reparation because Ghana wasn't the proper channels to go through. He's blocking African Americans who want to who county agreed to a $25,000 reparation claims to all the black citizens there. What's your response to that? Because the illusion is
Willie,
that
before you
Africans are
speak, Willie, because you're
undermining
gonna
you.
go on for a
It's
mile.
nothing
Let
new
me
and he'll
take
be
it.
gone
Willie,
in two
Willie,
and a
stop.
half
Willie, let me
years.
take it. Willie, let me take it. I'm glad you mentioned that. You know what the major problem with that article that you just posted, that the piece of information they leave out? That so-called reparations fund is not just open to whether you want to use the term Black Americans or
Right.
African Americans. When you look at the so-called reparations, it's open to a whole group of people beyond specifically the
Hispanics,
term. So this is the type
white
of
folk.
scamming, bait and switch stuff that we've been talking against. That's a perfect
So you think if
microcosm
somebody
of
came up with a plan that
before you
said
cut
black
me off.
Americans
Hold
was
on,
gonna
let
get
him finish.
reparations, they
Stop,
would
Let
give
stop,
us that?
please,
stop,
can y'all let
listen,
him finish?
stop and listen. This is your problem. Y'all can't listen. Y'all just want to start blurting your mouth. When y'all speak, y'all may not think about it that I'm listening, but I'm actually listening to y'all. But it's like when I speak, y'all just kind of blurt out uncontrollably and can't control
We
yourselves.
listen.
You're grown adults, right? Show some impulse control. So as I was saying, the problem, that article and what's going on there is a perfect example. That is not reparation, even though it's so-called reparation settlement, it is not specific for Black Americans,
We
African
heard you the
Americans,
first time,
ADOS,
bro.
FBA. It is open to a whole group of people. That's a
Okay,
Let,
and my
perfect,
rebuttal
hold
to
on.
that is
That's, hold
if
on.
they
That's
wrote
a perfect, hold
let
legislation
on.
him
that
make the point
specifically
because he
Can
said
I
about to
get
black
make
to the
a
damn
Americans were
valid
gonna
point?
get
point.
Are you just
reparations,
want to
are
talk?
Let
I
you
want
him
to
make
thinking
listen.
the
That's
that
the
they're
point
gonna
problem.
give us that?
because he is
No,
about
no,
to
no.
make a
That's the
valid
problem.
point for our side. Let him make the point.
He's
Okay,
Hold
not.
on, but
That's
that's
what I'm telling
hold
you.
that's
on.
hold on.
They're blocking it on grounds of
Let
discrimination. If
him make
everybody's
the
included,
point.
Yes,
We
but
why are
get
they
guess
that.
blocking
what?
on the grounds of
You made
discrimination?
your point. They're blocking it. We get that.
They're
But
No,
let him
blocking it,
on
but
grounds
guess
of
what?
discrimination. If
Hold on,
let him
everybody's
hold on,
included,
respond.
why would they block it on
Let
hold
grounds
him
of
on.
respond.
discrimination?
But it's
If
not
white woman,
specific.
I'll
Chinese,
cook you on
Arab,
that
everybody's
next.
included, why would they
I'll
block it?
cook
Hold
you on
on.
that next once he's
Hold
done.
on,
Let
check
him
it out.
finish.
Hold on, good. I can answer
No,
that
I
right
gotta
now. It's
reply
this.
to
Hold
Pastor
on.
King after
It's the
this
same
before you,
thing with the
Willie.
affirmative action, right? You notice how when they brought all these lawsuits to undo affirmative action in different steps, they always put up the face of Black people trying to make, oh, look at these Black
Correct.
Americans. They're getting these jobs, they're getting these
DEI.
opportunities unearned. But guess what? Here's the reality. The biggest beneficiaries of any affirmative action program, from
White women.
education, job prevention, exactly, Willie, white women. And
They
last I
don't
checked, white
understand.
women,
Everybody know that. Who don't know
hold on,
that?
stop,
It has
stop.
nothing to do with
No, 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 no,
reparations,
no,
bro.
no.
So
Hold on.
then if you
Listen. You're
know
not
that, how do you
listening.
use this as the
You're not
vanguard of your argument?
listening. You're
That's not
not
my
listening.
argument. My
And
argument
because
is the
white,
United
hold
States not
on.
gonna give you
Let
nothing
him
I
finish.
without
don't,
Let
any
him
No,
finish
I
until
don't
you
believe in
got
reparations.
the floor,
reparations.
bro. Let him finish
I
you got the
don't
floor,
believe in
bro.
reparation.
Let him finish and you
Okay.
got the floor, bro.
So the point is, because white women was the biggest beneficiary of affirmative action and they overwhelmingly married white men, at least 90%, then guess what? The white community was the biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action. Same with DEI. So that program that you dropped in the chat, even though they try to make it look like it was going specifically to Black Americans, they
That
was
doesn't
including a
represent what we
lot of
want.
other
Correct.
non-white people.
Okay,
It's the
now let me get
same
the floor.
bait and switch people of color scam. Now I'm going
Give
to
it
Okay,
to
we
him,
heard you. That was the
Hold
third
on.
time you said the same
Leave
thing,
it with
bro.
him, Passport.
We
You
heard
good.
you. God
Leave it
damn.
with
Now,
him.
hold on.
Look,
Now, this the
no,
hold on.
bro, we heard you, fam. This is
No,
what
no,
I'm
no. But I'm
saying.
not done.
You
This
saying
the
it didn't
hold
go
on.
through because
No,
the
no, 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 no,
legislation
no.
wasn't
No, because
specific
see,
to
you don't
Black
want to listen.
Americans.
This
This
is
is
the
what
full
I'm telling
lesson.
you, bro.
Hold on.
Bro, I'm Black
This is the
American. This is what I'm
this
telling
is
you.
the
If
full
they wrote
lesson.
legislation
Hold on.
specific for
No,
us
no.
as
You
Black
just want to
Americans,
talk. You
that
don't want
shit
to
still
learn.
is not
That's your
gonna go through.
problem.
We have
You
no
want to
leverage
talk.
to make them
You
give us
can't.
reparations.
You sound like
King
a bitter
Justice,
baby
read the
mama
article
just
in the background,
babbling. You can't
brother.
listen.
Read the article
You
I dropped in
can't
the background,
listen.
King Justice.
Let Passport finish.
This is the
He
final
keeps
point. I'm gonna
saying
be
the
very
same
quick.
shit, bro.
That article and that lawsuit is a perfect illustration of why many Black Americans, where they go by FBA, ADOS,
Right.
Freeman, we
All
don't
right,
want
man.
to
You keep
make.
saying the damn thing over and over.
Yo, you're
We got
cutting
you.
me
That's
off.
not
No,
the
no, no.
Just
point.
say what
Let me
you
finish
want,
my
bro.
point.
The claim is attached to discrimination laws on housing. How the hell is everybody for Black residents and their descendants? How the hell is everybody's going to be entitled to that? Please break that down because
Did you?
that's what the article is
Be,
talking about. So you're
oh,
claiming that
did you
everybody's
actually
included.
read
How
it?
the it's very
It's not
specific. So
specific to. No, it's not specific to Black American. I'm gonna prove it right now. You're saying I'm wrong,
most people
right?
weren't here. All right, go ahead.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Hold on. You're saying I'm wrong, right? You just said I'm wrong, correct?
According to the article that I'm reading, is specific to the descendants of those who were
Okay.
discriminated against through
Okay.
housing
Okay.
laws. But you're trying to say it includes everybody. How does that? I don't. So tell me what I don't know. Don't keep repeating the same thing. Tell me what I don't know, and then tell me how African Americans, such as the quote unquote FBA freedmen, the people who you love to shout out, what are they doing about it? And I can tell you how Benjamin Crump and all these other guys are going to utilize the international claim that shout out to Ghana help push to shape their narrative and their court case even here in America.
Okay. Hello,
All right,
hello.
now
You ready
please
for your?
don't
Hold on.
interrupt
I
them
got
even
him.
when
I
you
got him.
disagree.
Willie. Let me get this. This is light
Please
work.
don't interrupt them even when you disagree.
Now
Let them
check this.
finish.
Go to the article. I'm reading the very same article that you just posted. I'm right here after the 25,000. Listen carefully. Residents of any race. Does that say specific Black people? Residents of any race who experience housing discrimination after 1969 are also eligible to use this program. There's more words.
Game over.
What did I just say?
You
see what I be talking about? And look, if you think I'm lying, look at the article. It's in the article itself that you just posted. And I'll read it again, just in case you didn't, because I know y'all talk about my accent. Some of y'all claim I'm Caribbean, so maybe y'all have trouble understanding me. Let me read it again. Residents of any race who experience housing discrimination after 1969 are eligible to use this program. I'm sorry, what was you saying?
That's not what we
What the
want.
majority? Hold on. Can I respond real quick? Most FBA claim that most foreigners, besides the white ones, didn't come in drove until after 1970s and 1980s. So who's going to be the majority of those who are qualified for such law? Is going to be majority of you guys, wouldn't it? Right?
Mental gymnastics.
You
What
would
does the
think
article
that.
say?
You would think that. We thought that with affirmative action.
Check it out. Wait a minute. You just contradicted yourself because it says after 1969. Didn't the Civil Rights Immigration Reform Act that opened up immigration happen in 1965?
Everybody didn't come at once, dude. It was a gradual
U.S.
process.
history, right?
Yeah. But it was a gradual process through the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
So check it.
It was everybody didn't just come in 1970, dude.
Hold on. So anyone, whether it be non-white immigrants, whether it be immigrants from Europe, South America, Latin America, Asia, anyone could apply for that program if their family came 1969 or afterwards. How's that specific for Black Americans?
Bro, you know the history better than me. The majority, hold on, the majority, minority, hold on, the majority minority was Black America first, correct?
Your mental
Yeah,
gymnastics not
you're
gonna
the
work.
one who, you're the one speaking like
You
that, brother.
should read
The majority
carefully. This is
minority
why
before
you
1970s was
should
African
read
Americans. The
carefully before
majority
you
people
take.
of color
I
before
got your
1970s was
question. No,
African
you're
Americans,
Cool.
dude.
Okay, let me
you just
respond to Passport because you still
Respond,
didn't answer
to
my
brother.
question, bro. Let me
you
get the flow,
shut
bro.
yourself
You
down.
saying this article and this law school is about people discriminating against Black Americans, bro. I'm saying if it's
Give me a
legislation
second.
that is specific to
Y'all
us,
know.
that shit
Y'all
still
let's
is
know.
not gonna
I'm
go through.
quick.
let's
Ask my wife.
let others
Y'all
speak
know I'm
now.
quick.
Pass the
Can I
mic. Pass the
cook
mic
him
now.
on
Okay, let others
that
speak.
point he just made though? He just made the
Yeah,
point
go
that
on, man.
yes,
No, wait,
we
what's the Willie?
were
Pass the
the
mic now. Pass the mic.
minority. We were. But we weren't the majority homeowners during that time.
Wall Street, let someone
What
else
this
speak, you know?
hold on. I haven't been
You're
saying a
hugging the
word.
mic.
No,
Willie,
but
you've been
we have
talking
new
all night,
person.
You
bro.
talking about I'm hogging the mic. Y'all been goofing
We,
out
no, we
all
have
day.
we have a new person. Wall Street. We have a new person.
It's crazy though, because when Black Americans start speaking, now all
Okay.
of a sudden we're
No, I'm
taking
Black
over the
American.
floor and
I
we're
just
taking
don't
too
agree
much
with you,
time.
bro.
It's crazy.
Wall Street.
You
That's
still
fine.
haven't
He said he
answered how
can
you're
go
going
on.
to force America to
Go
give us
after you.
reparations. You refuse to answer that.
I refuse to answer what?
How are we going to force America to give us reparations?
So again, I think politically, right? I think things like HR 40 are a framework, a
HR
foundation
40
for
has no
getting to a
teeth to
point.
it, bro.
Yes, I understand that. You have an extraordinary grasp of the obvious, because that was never my claim. And see, this is what you'll try to do: fool people into thinking that's my claim. I'm saying it's a cornerstone of a foundation that we're building on, right? And yes, I do believe it can pick up traction. We get your point. You don't believe it's possible, right? So
No, I'm
when you're
asking
saying
where
everybody
is
else,
the might that we
when you're
have?
saying everyone else is saying the same thing, we all understand. You don't think it's possible. You don't
No,
think
that's
there's
not what
any
I said.
American
See,
groups.
you just
Hold
said
on.
somebody misrepresented your words and then
That's
you
what
did the same
you've
thing
been
to somebody
saying
else.
the entire
No,
time
I'm
while you've been
asking
cutting
you
me
where is
off
the
Visa ain't even
from
got a
leverage?
legal
answering
framework.
the
That's what
question
I'm
There's
saying.
no
you're
Where is
legal
the
asking.
leverage,
framework.
bro? You vote 87% for Democrats. You're not gonna force America to do anything, bro.
Who said there's no legal framework?
We forced America to put a Negro that
No,
smoked
no, hold on.
Newports
So, wait.
and has a
Let me
jump shot
let
Hold
me
on,
way
hold
off.
on. No
Okay.
one said there's no legal
Okay. See
framework.
now,
Who
now
said
this is
that?
why I say pass the mic.
Wall Street.
So I said pass the mic. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
The only
Yeah, it's on.
Western country on earth that elected a black
Bro, we
president,
didn't force
right?
America to do that, bro.
No.
Like
Willie,
Hold on,
that's
hold
Willie,
on,
that's
hold on.
We
Let me
seriously
Let
what
me
forced
you
take
taking
this
this
real
America
to.
to
quick.
do it with our
Willie,
vote.
Willie,
What are
let
you
me take this real
talking
quick.
about?
This is light work.
Wall Street.
Willie, let
Hold
me
on,
handle
hold
this
on.
real
Man,
quick. Let me
John.
show them.
man, passport. Let me say my 2 cents, right? Just give me like a minute and a half.
All
Y'all
right,
That's
go
go
my
back
ahead.
to
man
y'all fantasy
DC.
speak. Just
Yeah,
give me
go on.
less than 2
Go
minutes,
on.
man. Y'all go back to your
Mhm.
fantasy speech. Because um I don't understand why Americans don't understand, like they pretend as if they don't know how the federal government works, especially that when it comes to like Democrats or Republican, who actually controls it and then who sponsor it. You understand me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes Americans get up here and pretend as if they don't know their federal system, especially like the way you select people to come to power, like especially like lobbyists
All
and
right,
all
guys,
this
I
stuff.
got to read this
It's
super
because
chat. Summer, none other baddie. Thank you for $5 holla. Most people willingly came to America. Slavery was entirely too expensive to maintain millions of slaves. People forget you got to keep slaves alive to work. Most room 3368. Thank you for $2 holla. We need solutions, not problems. Lazy brains wake up. All right.
okay. Let me finish real quick. Hold on. Let me finish real quick because Daniel was doing the money thing,
Go
which
ahead,
is very
DC. You
important.
good?
This is the thing with these guys that refer themselves as FBA, idiots, and all these things, right? Okay, you guys don't want nothing to do with Africa, right? Which I agree with you guys. But why all the time, like anything that's not connected to you guys want to come in and involve and then just bash Africa.
That's a
The,
great
the thing is
question.
this. The thing is this, right?
Mhm.
Midterm is coming up in November, right?
Yep.
What y'all doing about it to close the gap when it comes to white immigrants that control this country? What y'all doing
We're
about it?
we're
Midterm is
using
coming.
we're
Midterm
using
is
them
coming.
we're using them
mm,
as the
Midterm is
front
coming
men.
because
Listen, no, I
hold
mm.
on,
got you.
hold
Let
on.
me answer that. Let me answer
No,
that.
but let him
One second.
finish though. One
We're
second. Let him
using
finish.
Because
Gavin
me,
Newsom, right?
One second.
As the front
Willie,
man.
Willie, now Willie, you're complaining about people interrupting you.
I thought it was a question. My bad. He asked a
no, it's
question.
just
That's my brother.
state.
DC, my
Yeah,
brother.
because me, man, I look at things for power project. Whoever control the direction where things will be, leading to. That's how I see things. But overall, we live in a democracy, a so-called democracy, right? You could just sponsor, a Congress or a governor or a senator, and then they could just become a winner. So what y'all doing about it? Instead of, bashing Africans, Africans wants to take our reparation. The United States government said slavery was a business. The same president that some of these FBA love, Republicans, because now, FBA is the biggest enemy is Democrats, which I can understand. Democrats are playing to both sides. They're just good at pretending as if they care about the average black
Yeah, but
person
they
in
don't
this
hate
country.
us. They don't hate us
But
though.
the thing like this movement in Ghana, right? I looked
Right.
at it, like every rain season in Ghana, people die. The Ghanaian government are not, interested in building infrastructure where people, less people could die when it rains season.
Mhm.
There's there are plenty of poor people in African countries, especially Ghana, that barely don't have nothing to eat. What is the federal government doing about it? Instead, they want to talk about reparation. That's what I don't understand. It just played out to me. This all a distraction. Just like I said yesterday, if the
Now,
Ghanaian government are serious, give these people a gold mine. Give them acres of land. Some
put
cocoa.
something in the
Give them
framework.
something.
Yeah,
They ain't
put
got to do
something in the
that
framework that
something. You
we
ain't
can
got to go
see.
to the white man for the white man to say,
I
okay,
agree.
we're gonna pay y'all. This is what I don't understand about these
But
African leaders,
but
man.
wait. I want to
Give these
challenge you on
people
something,
gold mine.
DC.
Give these people something.
But DC, I want to challenge you on something, right? In
Yeah.
terms of our political power, because I agree, right? Like the coon, I call them the coon conservatives, right? Like, yes, that is a group that is prevalent with the FBA conversation, but that's not the overwhelming majority of us. The overwhelming majority of us are going to vote Gavin Newsom in, right? He's going to be our next president, right? Like, so when you ask, what are black people doing right now? We're kind of taking the brunt of all America's smoke, while the real factors that even white people, swing states, Ohio, Pennsylvania care about, right, are going to shit. I mean, going
Willow,
down the tube, right? So,
you,
so hold on.
Willow,
So, go ahead.
you talk about that governor in California. Are you
Yeah,
telling me if that dude become a president, let's just say
that's
the
our next
next,
president.
3 years from now, right?
No,
That's
he's
our next
not.
You
president.
think
Gavin Newsom's not
you
winning.
Africa. If you look at the situation of black people in California right now under Gavin Newsom, like you will be, the black people deserve whatever they got coming for them. They vote for that guy to be in office.
No, the
There's
black
one.
community is
There's
not voting
yes,
for
one.
yes,
I
yes,
Gavin
mean,
yes,
Newsom.
yes,
He
Gavin,
is
Gavin
not
yes,
going to
Newsom
yes,
is
win.
fucking
There's
He
one
hilarious.
is not going to
specific
win.
yes.
poll.
It's for the
There's
elites. It's
one
for the
No,
elites.
no,
specific
Gavin
poll.
Newsom is
No,
not going to
There's
Willow,
win.
one
That's
specific
a
Willow,
pipe
poll
okay,
that has been
dream.
okay.
accurate
Hold
for the
on.
That's a
Just give
last
me
pipe
30
10.
dream.
seconds.
There's
Just give me
one
30 seconds.
specific
Give me
poll that
30
has been
seconds real quick.
accurate for the
Willow,
last 10.
Africa. I don't care how much you hate Trump. You vote for Gavin Newsom. You deserve whatever you got coming for you.
Dynasty. Gavin Newsom is not going to
What is
win.
that?
He's
Wait,
not. The
wait.
black
Let's
community is
What's
not
it
messing
really
with
mean?
Gavin Newsom.
I'm just saying.
He's
Look
not.
at the reality of black people in
in
California,
California.
especially in LA. You'll be a fool to
Plus,
vote for Gavin Newsom.
What about
despite
it?
the fact that Gavin Newsom tried to hide
The,
behind the California state legislature, they're well aware that he gave the word to kill the reparations movement in California. And the black community
this,
nationwide is aware of that. He is not going to win.
No,
Man, the
he's
black
I
actually.
mean,
community
He's
Hold on,
still
hold
he's
gonna
on,
vote
hold
he's
on.
sorry,
Democrat, bro. Y'all
he's
crazy.
So
sorry. This
he's
is
now,
gonna be favored. He's
this
gonna be
is
favored to
this
win.
is
yeah.
when
He's
I
gonna be
have a
favored to
very
Sorry,
win.
rare
this is Wall
skill.
Street. I mean,
Hold on.
Diners. This
No,
is the
This is
same
when I
no.
problem.
He's
have a
gonna be
Sorry,
very
favored to
it's
win.
the
rare
same problem we
skill
have in the
in black
UK, right?
America,
God gives
right?
you
Hold
your
on.
witness, right?
Let me
We
say
have the
something.
Labour government, who is
Let me
a
say something
centre
real
right
quick, bro.
government.
This is when I
Okay,
have a
sorry, I
very
was gonna say
rare
something similar.
skill in black
Hmm.
America, right? I can
He's
separate myself from my blackness in black America. I can look top down outside of my body, right? The reality is with the candidates that it's pretty confirmed are going to be running in 2029. We already have polls that have been 100% spot on for the last 10 elections. When you look at any of the Republican nominees, right, they're all losing to Gavin Newsom. J.D. Vance, what's the other Republican dude? The Kennedy.
Yeah, but Willow, Wall
What's the
Street,
Kennedy?
Wall Street. Let me ask you a question. Even if he gets in power and become the president, right? What makes you think Gavin Newsom is going to prioritize black people in America?
I
Yeah,
never.
Willie, you delusional,
I don't
bro.
even
No, that's
think that.
no.
I
Seriously,
don't. Let me
seriously
answer
though.
that.
Guy, well, hold
That
on,
was a good
guy, hold
question.
on. This is the host talking. So this is I go off the prediction markets. Gavin Newsom ain't beating JD Vance. I go off the prediction markets unless it's changed. This is what I go off of. The prediction markets is undefeated.
Yeah,
JD
so
Vance is the
that
most
was my
likely
point,
next
right?
president.
There
Thank
is a
you.
poll. There is a poll that has predicted the last 10 presidents
What's the poll?
accurate.
What's the poll? What's the poll, Willie?
It's flipping my mind. It's not
You don't
Gallup.
even know. You don't even know.
No,
Come
it's
on.
not
You don't
Yeah,
even
Gallup.
know.
you kind of
He just
I'll
babbling. You
spitballing,
look it
don't
up.
even know.
I'll look it up.
You're just
I'll look it up and
spitballing,
cook
Willie.
all
Come
of
on,
y'all
man.
like I
Just be
cooked yesterday.
honest.
Hold on. I'll look it up
Hey,
and cook
hey,
all of
hey,
y'all like
hey,
yesterday.
Willie. Speaking of yesterday, who won the bet? Speaking of yesterday, who won the bet?
I mean,
Willie.
we all know who won. We don't need to go back to that. Everyone knows, right? So this is
I
when I
think
get
I
so
think
frustrated when I can't speak.
I don't want to get in trouble, but
I be
I
like, I
know
didn't
one.
get paid. I should at least get a victory lap, right? Like it was that easy for me to cook him the same way it was that easy for Passport to cook when it comes to American issues.
He
Because we
didn't cook
do listen,
nobody, bro. He said the same thing the whole show.
because we do listen to y'all and we
Hey,
hear where y'all trip up.
real quick. Hey, who won the bet yesterday? Who won the bet yesterday?
Come on, man.
I think Willie won it, if I'm honest. But
Willie
anyway,
won. You gotta be honest. Willie won, man.
but
Tahaka, he thought he knew what he was saying, but he was
I
really
was
off.
out. I was listening to it, but I did send you my thoughts anyway on a text. But yeah, I think this is a problem we have with these some of this so-called left,
Wait. Before you jump in, my
center right
fault. I
going.
didn't mean to cut you off, but Dinus
Willie,
cut
you
me
don't
off to
stop
ask
talking,
who
no,
won the
bro.
bet.
Come on.
Yo, something wrong with
Dinus
this
cut
mic. Hey,
me
Dennis,
off.
can you hear me?
Hold on.
Willie, you
Dinus
talking?
cut me
Yeah,
off to
I hear
ask
you,
who won the
Darko, but
bet.
Willie, you just too long winded, bro. You just
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
All
my
right, well,
mic,
I'm gonna keep it short. I'm
my
quick.
mic is
Ask my
low.
wife. I'm quick.
we hear you, Darko. We hear
Today's
you.
mathematics is knowledge understanding, right?
No, it's not, bro. Today's mathematics is wisdom understanding.
Wisdom understanding. My fault. Knowledge is one. Wisdom is
Yeah,
two. You
yeah.
right. You
Universal
right.
beat down,
Pawn
dog.
self, God. Pawn self. They threw me off. Talking over me.
Oh
You right.
Okay.
shit.
Right.
Okay.
But
The
the
you
point is
No,
this.
we gotta move on, Willie. Willie,
Can
just
we?
stop
please.
talking. Right,
You
I
go
know
ahead.
never
what?
got a chance to
Thank you.
respond to
Go
the
Thank you, Willie.
ahead,
Gavin
You
Africa.
Newsom
made it.
Black
argument.
Americans,
Yeah, thank you.
I
you're
never
not
got a
looking at
chance
the
to
bigger
respond to the
picture.
Gavin Newsom argument.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Willie,
basically,
Let me come in. Let
Gavin
me come
Newsom
in.
out. Gavin
no,
Newsom
it's
out.
my turn.
And I don't care
Yo,
how you feel about Trump and Vance. If you vote for Gavin Newsom, you just deserve what is coming down the
Yeah.
pipe.
I
So
mean, this is the
I
problem,
wish I
Diners.
voted for Kamala.
We have this
Yeah,
so-called center left.
but you can say the same thing with
No,
I
one
wish I
second,
voted for Kamala.
you can say the same thing
what
with
are
the
you
one
talking
second.
about?
Republicans too.
Nigel Farage?
You can say
No,
the
it's
same
not
thing
even
with
that.
you can say the
We
same
have
thing
a,
with
bang,
Republicans too.
one second. This is the
You know,
problem we
one
have
thing I
here. We have this
criticize the
so-called,
black
oh no,
man,
conservatives
man,
Willie,
about
Willie, be
give it a
Dinus.
quiet,
break.
man.
Give it a
Willie,
slow.
You know, one thing I
Willie, give
criticize
it a
black.
break, man.
Willie, be quiet. Just be cool. Just go on timeout, Willie. All right, go ahead, Africa.
Please. Yeah, this the problem we have with this so-called center-left government. They are the most hypocritical, faction of, governance we have in the in the West. In the UK, we have what you call left wing. They call themselves left wing, but when they come to power, it's a right wing of the left who actually control things, and they happen to be worse than the so-called,
They call them moderates.
political. Yeah, they call themselves liberal, moderate, whatever.
They call them
They're just as
moderates in
bad.
America. Right.
Yeah, yeah, in the US, okay, but they're very dangerous because what they do is they will push through policies right in your face, okay. If, for example, the Republicans actually do it, you'll be like, "Oh, you're racist," you'll be kicking off, but they will do it to you right in your face and make it look like it's normal, it's trendy, it's normal. These are very dangerous people, and we need to be politically educated in the West how to deal with this, two-party political system because America and the UK have the same system. They're very
No, they
similar.
don't.
So what do you think of
It's different. It's
They
different.
do.
It's different. Africa,
They
Africa,
do. They
America.
do. No, bang,
No. It's
bang,
different.
bang.
It's different.
Bang, you don't live
It's
in the
different.
UK.
But
You have
no,
one right and you have one left. You
I
have
know
one
what you're
right,
saying.
you got one left.
I know
Yeah.
what you're saying. I know what you're saying. One of the biggest difference, right, between the UK
Mm,
and the United States government, right? In the UK, it's
mm.
much easier, 10 times much easier for you to form another party. 10 times much easier for you to form another party, right? In the
Well,
United States,
it's,
We are a
yeah, you
duopoly in
can,
America.
bang, bang, bang,
We
bang.
are a
One second.
duopoly in America. There
One
are
second.
two
Yeah,
One second.
parties
yeah.
who will
The
always
only difference
decide
is,
the U.S.
But I did not
presidency.
finish. You
One
cut me
second.
off. Go on.
Africa,
Mm,
do you
mm.
think Andy's gonna
The
do any
only
better than Keir
the only
Starmer?
difference, the only
No,
difference that people
they'll
don't
F him up.
Jill Stein will
the
never get
only
They're all the
elected
same, innit?
because,
Yeah,
the
again, to
only
the point that
yeah.
DC just
Oh,
made,
okay.
that's one
No,
of the
Willie, no,
differences.
you can't. No, wait, once we Willie, this man, this
let
is
me
what you do.
finish.
You can't interrupt me now. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, right, they will do this. They're the same. They are the same, but they will let the ones
No,
that
we're
you
not the
call
same.
so-called. No, I'm not talking. Listen,
DC just
they're
cooked
the
you on
same
that.
system. Okay,
I was
so
trying to
basically
explain it.
they'll pretend. Okay, they'll pass. What they do is they pass the baton over. They will come and do this thing. So like right now, what the God gift, like for example, the laws that the Labour Party, who you call lefties in the UK,
Yeah.
the laws that they passed in the last few years since they've been in power for the last 2 years. If the Conservative was to do that, bro, this country will
I
be
know,
kicking
All
off.
them
right, let me
laws,
break
yeah.
something down for you, right? And I'm gonna
You
be
Immigration
understand
short.
what I mean?
laws.
I'm gonna be short.
Exactly.
Let me
The
break it down.
immigration laws are
Once we
upside
Willie,
When
be
you
down.
quiet,
say
please. Be
the
quiet.
other
Be quiet.
side
No. Be
fools people,
quiet. I'm
right?
not talking about. I'm not talking to
When
it. No,
you
be
say
quiet,
the
please.
other side
Be
fools
quiet. No,
people,
be
Oh
right?
my
In
quiet.
God.
terms,
No. Honestly, bro, you need to be quiet, man. Come on. I did not interrupt you.
hold
Someone needs
on,
to
bro.
mute. Someone needs to mute.
Wait. I let the other brother speak.
Willie, chill out, man. Just
God
chill out.
Oh
damn.
my God.
When do
Chill
I get
out.
to speak
Goodness.
though? I
Chill
didn't get
out.
paid.
Chill out.
I
Huh?
can't speak. I didn't get paid. I can't
Well,
speak.
Tarka, claims he won the
I'm
bet.
saying, let me make this quick point, right? Because the hard part is people
And
start
listen,
going off.
Willie, it wasn't for
Yo,
you. It was for me. It was for me. But we're gonna give Tarhak a
No, it
break.
wasn't
You
for
know.
you. I ain't
Yes,
make no bet to
Willie,
pay you.
No, it was for
I was
Diners.
gonna
It
pay the
was
hold
for
on.
hours.
He's
Diners.
not overtime me. Willie, the bet was that it goes to me either way. But Tarhaka, he's
Yes,
just
I
I
had
was
that.
gonna pay the
I,
house.
Tarhaka
I
isn't
didn't know.
gonna admit
When I
defeat.
make
But
a bet
we're
with
just
a
gonna move
man,
on.
it's for him to pay.
Man,
I
Willie, shut
had you.
up,
The
man.
money was
God
going to
dang.
Diners.
Yeah,
The money
y'all
was
Get
said
that
going to
this
out of
for
here.
Diners. So
August though, bro.
yeah, thank you. So basically, the laws that this current
God next.
so-called left-wing government have passed for the last 2 years, the conservative government would never pass that law. Definitely no. And if they was to pass that, all the black people will be in the streets say, "Oh, you're racist, you're terrible." But since they've been in power, they've been actually fooling us. They've been passing, and they abuse it. They use the vote because they have taken us for granted. It's the same thing as the Democrat is doing in America. So that's the reason why I always say to you guys in America, you need to vote issue by issue and you need to split your vote in two.
Right.
Whichever
Now,
party is happy to actually, pass your agenda, that's where you move to at that time. If
got you.
that party doesn't, then in the midterm, you go to the other side until it works. But do not
Got you. So
let
I'm gonna
any
keep it
political
short.
party take you for granted. Okay, that's my point.
Got you.
Ah,
So I'm gonna keep it short, right? DC already cooked you on that. It's easier over there where you live to make a third party work. What I'm telling you is
it does not. We never had a third
how?
party.
Can I
Listen,
finish?
listen. That's
Can
not
I
true.
How
finish?
He
is
doesn't
it?
know.
You're cutting me
It does
off.
not. It
I
does
didn't even
not.
get
It does
started.
not. It
And then
does
you
not.
cut
It's only
and
two.
and
Listen,
Dinus
listen,
was gonna
listen,
jump in and
listen,
cut me off
listen.
too.
Since the
It's a
foundation of the
two-party
Go ahead,
state,
go ahead,
bro.
go ahead. Can I
is
respond?
a two-party state.
Hold on. I'm talking. Willie, what's the third party?
We're talking about in the UK. That's
Which
my
Willie, you
other
point.
said if
party
you
that
had to
rule
make a
this
Hold
third
country?
on.
party, I'm
Republicans to
asking
go run
Willie,
stuff
what's the
here.
third party?
In the UK,
No,
Yeah, that's what you
Yeah.
said.
Willie's
that would
arguing
be
on the other side.
either DC
Which
can
one?
answer that or this brother can answer that
So
right
why'd you
now.
He
say?
Well,
doesn't
you
know
know
what
what?
he's
It's
Hold
saying.
on.
crazy.
No,
Willie,
Willie is
why'd
saying
you
in
say that?
America it's only going to be Republicans
Can
and
I make
Democrats.
my
That's what
point?
he's saying.
Can I
No,
make my
but
point,
Willie, you said
please?
Willie, you said it's easier over on that side to
No,
make
I
a
didn't
third
say
for a
that.
third party.
Those
What'd you say?
brothers said that.
Okay,
Those
what'd you say?
brothers that
We
know
we never said that.
UK, wait, those
I I never. We
DC
never
said
said
that.
it's easy.
No, Willie, what did you say? Something about a third party. Go ahead.
DC said that, right?
Okay,
Like
what did he
in
say?
the UK, it's easier to get a third party involved and actually win some elections. Here's my point.
Well,
Now, let me
what's the third party? That's my question.
in the UK, I don't know. I know
All
about
right, so
American
DC,
politics,
what's the third
and
party?
I
What's the
wanted to
third
talk
party?
about American
What are you
politics.
talking about, man?
I know about
No,
American
okay.
politics.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
You're not versed in
So let me
UK
make my
politics.
point. Let me make my point. Let me make my
Okay,
point.
go ahead, Will.
Right. So if
Go
we
ahead.
accept that, yeah, there's more third party involvement over there, what you have to understand about over here is we live in a duopoly, right? There's two parties.
Well, hold on, stop.
God
Oh my God.
No, Willie, but hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm talking. So, God, somebody in the UK, is there third party involvement that strong over there?
No, not that strong. Not that strong. It's
Well,
a
that's what I'm saying. So where you guys
two-way
getting
thing.
this stuff
Two-way
from?
thing.
Yeah,
It's
so where you
either
guys getting this
Labour
from?
or Conservatives.
Thank you. So where you
Either
guys
Labour.
getting this from?
I'll
That's
let
what I'm
Willie
DC
was
make
saying
that
it's
It's
up.
always them
two
two. It's always
parties
them
over
two switching
here
in
that
between.
yeah.
Labour or
Hold on.
Conservatives.
Let me clear my thoughts because I was the one that said it.
Right.
I was the one that said it, which is true. If people that are living
Well,
UK
how's
will
it true
confirm
if
that.
people in the UK
Let's
saying
get
it's
to
not
How do you
true?
know? How do you know though? Are you versed in
Oh,
UK
Lord.
Here's the
politics?
difference, right? Okay. Like for instance, like in America, right? You could have Democrats and Republicans, right? But for you to create another party, it is 100 times more difficult. But in the UK, it's not at all. It's very simplified.
No,
What do you
no,
mean?
no, no,
What do you
no.
mean it's more difficult to
That's
create another
nonsense. Like,
party?
look,
Oh man, y'all just
look. Anyone can wake up
let him
and create a
answer.
party. You know what I'm
Let him
saying?
That's not what I'm trying to
Anyone can
say.
wake
Of
up
course,
from
anybody can.
any
Do you,
country and create a party.
Yeah, you don't know.
But it doesn't mean that
Not in
you come into
America.
power.
in the
things
UK?
I heard
Okay, let me
earlier.
ask Willie this.
It
Willie,
doesn't mean that you come into
Willie,
power or you have
let me get the flow
influence.
for
You know,
2
you
minutes,
understand?
please.
Guys, let King Justice ask his. Go ahead, King Justice, ask your question.
Willie,
And
if it's
then can
40
I
plus
respond
million,
after he's done?
yes, I'm asking you the question, and it's for you to respond if I can ask it. God damn. If it's 40 plus million Black Americans here, what's stopping us from just starting a Black Party?
Population.
40 million? We can't do nothing
Yeah,
with 40
Can I
40
million?
address
million.
something I heard
40
earlier?
million. 40 million is a drop in the bucket in the American population. Do you know not only the American population, but also where that 40 million is, how spread out it is across America? Do you know? I've looked up these things.
So your alternative is to keep
But
giving
you
our
got
vote to.
dense populations, don't you?
You said what?
You got dense populations.
Whose car is on in the background?
I promise you, right? I'll answer all
That
of
was me.
that
Hold on.
in acknowledging what I know to be true that DC said about one of the advantages of UK politics is third parties play more of a role. In America, that plays
Hold
no
on,
role, right? The Green Party plays no role. Good.
Green
Good.
Party don't
Willie,
play no
stop.
role. Green
Let me
Party
let
are
me
nothing. You ain't even got it right.
Hold on. God skip, stop. Jagoon, is that
stop.
true?
Let Dinus go.
Jagoon, is that true?
Not really. You know, the people
Yeah,
like
we
just
gotta just
open.
stop making stuff up, man. I mean,
Yeah,
golly.
man, it's
So
rubbish. It's
wait,
just rubbish.
Dinus,
Can
understand.
I?
Good.
When
Please
it's my
do.
turn, please
Please
give
do,
me a shout.
Jagoon. You got it.
Okay, thank you. I must say, you do complain a lot. Meanwhile, you are doing all of
Just
what
get
you're
to the point.
complaining of.
Good. Just get to the
No, this
point.
is my point.
I'm on
Don't
mute.
tell me how to speak. Don't tell me how to speak. You are the person who have, as you are complaining, you are doing all what you're complaining about. Interruption, talk. You have had the majority of the talk. I've been listening since it began. You have had the majority of the say-so upon this panel because you think you know everything, or because you think you have some prior right to your opinion. I wish you would shut up sometimes. Now, this is why I have to say, yesterday, we had a thorough conversation, I felt. It was a bit messy, but it was thorough. And where we came to, because I don't like not learning from day to day. We can't have the same conversation today as we have yesterday without no progression. As I'm listening, there's no progression in our conversation. We're just having the same old rigmarole. It's ridiculous. Yesterday, the landing point was put there by Tahaka and seconded by myself. And that was, if the FBA and Americans do not want to join in the African family diaspora, in our conversations about what is just for us, they should stay the hell away. They should talk about their own nonsense. We won't get involved, and then you don't get involved in what we're talking about. Right now, as it is said that the Ghanaians have put down an understanding. That understanding is now global. If we don't want to interact in that global understanding, where America, the place where FBAs are shouting about, Argentina, the place that we know is extremely racist, and Israel, we all know about Israel. Those are the people who have said fundamentally no. The Europeans who have stood on the fence and remained on the fence, it is the same quest. The rest of the world has backed Ghana's position in saying not that there should be reparations. You people who want to count money before it's arrived, I don't know what kind of business people you are. There's no reparations that's on the ground right now. What's on the ground is that, do we understand that this slavery matter was the worst thing that ever happened? The majority of the world has said yes. Now, how you include yourself in that, I don't know. What I feel, however, is that the American black people have unfortunately, and I really don't even like to say that because I know that FBA is a minority, but they are a minority with a rascal big mouth. And with their big idiotic mouth and their big idiotic speeches, I can't see how that contains in the black family going forward. I can't see it. I can see it as a separatist movement, as a movement that wants to specialize themselves, that they are the greatest people ever. Give it to them. You are the greatest people ever. You take that and go and do what you want with it. The rest of us, Caribbean, South America, Africa, Europe, Black Europe, we would stand as the African
Y'all
family.
have done nothing with the land y'all have. You just made your
Yeah,
point.
fair enough, but that's
Now,
rubbish.
Dinus, can I
That's
speak as long as he did?
But Dinus,
how long did I speak?
address
Did I speak
everything
long?
I heard
Half of
earlier?
the
Dinus, did I
time.
speak long?
Hold on,
Dinus, half.
guy. Jagoon just came on. Like, let's have some decorum. We act like children.
But I got
sometimes.
cut off. I
No,
didn't
but,
get a third of his time.
Willie, everything Jagoon said was right. You do
All right.
think you're the
So let
smartest
me
in the
speak.
room. We do talk the longest. Let Jagoon finish.
I talked the
Let Jagoon
longest.
finish. Go ahead.
Is it that when I speak, it's the most
Oh
impactful?
Lord,
There you go.
Jesus,
You can't
man,
even
you
stop
act like a
yourself.
woman, Willie. God
He is
dang.
like a
Go ahead,
woman. He's
Jagoon.
like a woman. Anyway, thank you so much. As I said, I don't know how we're progressing our conversation. Where we were, I would like to know where we're trying to take this conversation. Are we looking for agreement, or are we just looking to find agreement, or are we just looking to crash each other out as to what we are saying? Because there are people. I'm afraid I have to call you out, Africa. There are people who are very soft in their nature when it comes to African Americans, and he says things like African Americans should head it, or Sierra Leone and Liberia. I don't understand why you're saying it. Ghana is doing it. It's a fact. They have put the energy, the mindset, the construction of their own minds to put this thing forward. Instead of us applauding it and seeing how we can back it, seeing how we can add to what they're trying to achieve, no. We are looking for, Ghana should do it. It should be Sierra Leone and Liberia. It's rubbish. It should be African Americans. African Americans are disorganized, completely disorganized. They don't agree with each other, let alone to come and agree with us who are in the greater black world. I would end like this, and I'm sure I'm going to come in again. We're not having a conversation.
I think, do you know what? Yeah,
wait, my brother.
Finish. I got next.
No,
No.
it's me next.
No, just let me finish. Whoever's next is next.
Go land.
I believe that if we are not coming together, we should see where our separate paths are, and we should entertain and put our energies in those separate paths.
I thought that was called the tree of forgiveness.
Let me.
Can I address three things I heard earlier,
Let me
please?
give my evidence. Let me give my evidence.
Can I respond? Can I respond after that, please?
Mr. Willie, you said
Please
something.
don't ask me no
Hold
questions.
on.
They're not gonna allow me to answer.
Hold on, Mr.
Please
Willie.
don't ask me no questions.
A lot of people try to ask.
Yeah, I want to ask Mr. Willie a question, right?
That's not true.
Right.
Please don't ask me no
Why this guy back there
Chiefs in the
babbling?
house, you know.
Yeah,
Why this guy back there
please,
babbling?
So Dinus,
So
Willie,
Willie,
asking me a question, man.
All right, so Josh, hold on. Who's asking the question?
I wanted to address three things. One was to Willie, and one was to Passport King, and one was to the discussion at hand. If I could,
Then I'll just
it was three things I wanted to
go on,
address.
and I'll respond to Jargon. Then I'll just have to log out.
So Willie
Thank
keeps bringing up the fact that he says Liberia should have reparations because Americans or us from America colonized them.
Liberia was never colonized. Let's
right. He said, but Willie keeps saying this, so when he's saying it, it becomes part of the ether. So I will say this: Liberia was not part of European colonization, so we benefited them. And also, there was a genocide that happened, I think, in the 1970s, in which the Americans was killed. So how can you say they deserve reparations when they actually drove us out of there? And number two, 80s. So number two, I want to address what Passport King was saying earlier.
Wait. I'll give you the floor back. Can I respond to what you asked me?
No. Let me just get this out the way.
No, Willie, you spoke a lot, man.
This is when everything gets lost.
So you just kind of responded when you said the 80s. So I was saying Passport King alluded to say that what Ghana was doing as far as reparations was a bait and switch. And I agree, because I think Ghana really don't want reparations. I don't think they care about what happened with slavery. I think they want to get their debt forgiven, their IMF debt. And it's a racial wealth gap between Black Americans and the rest of the Black people in the world. And we have at least 1,000 times the wealth of them. And I think they want to balance that out. That's why they say we shouldn't be involved, because they're looking at us like we ain't the richest country in the world and we already have reparations, right? And the third thing I want to say is, a guy asked the question, what organizations do Black Americans have, like this dude with this contrarian attitude? And he asked a question, a rhetorical question, but California had the Reparations Commission. Nearly every state in America has a Reparations Commission. Even you alluded to the one in Illinois with Evanston. So you answered your question, but I think you don't really care about the answer. I think you're one of them people that denigrates Black America, even though you are a Black American. You just do that for no reason. Because there's a lot of organizations. We got ADOS, Yvette Carnell, her organization all over America working for reparations. We have like HR 14 or whatever, HR 40. But the California Reparations Commission, like Gavin Newsom vetoed that, and I was talking about giving Black Americans in California millions of dollars each. So there's a lot of Black Americans fighting for it far before Ghana got involved. But I think Ghana just want to get their debt forgiven, and they want Black Americans to bring, or they want to make themselves equal to us, because we have a similar population as far as like 30 million to 40 million, but our wealth is.
What's all this comparison?
Okay.
But that's about it.
Okay.
What's all this comparison?
Listen. What I just said. No, hold on. What I just said earlier, I meant what I said. Don't hang on to Evan. What I said earlier, I meant what I said. Sierra Leone and Liberia should be in the countries leading this, because they have the people and the history of dealing with this. But I give Ghana, credit for actually taking the stand. Okay, I stick with that. If you don't like it, fine, study. And number two, if you think I'm soft towards African Americans, fine, you can say it. You can. No, okay. If you think I'm soft towards African Americans, fine, you can say it.
No, you're soft generally. You're soft. You have no backbone. That's what I mean.
Okay, that's listen. That's fine. You listen. What is a man? You definitely sound like someone who got mental health issues.
Yeah, all right. See, now, I said you got no backbone that you're soft.
So I will not engage.
Which is what you do.
Shut up.
Because I deal with people with mental health issues.
Both of you, man.
I know how it's like with someone with mental health issues. And Jagoon, you're definitely one of them. You got mental health issues.
Thank you.
You need to shut up. Look, listen, yeah. Listen. So this is what I have to say, yeah. This is what I have to say. Listen, man. Listen. Look.
This is why I wanted
what we're trying to do here, yeah. What we're trying to do here.
I knew we would never be able to get back.
Guys, hold on.
Yeah.
There was a question directed to God. There was a question directed. Willie, you got 1 minute to answer, and don't get in this long diatribe talking in circles. Just answer the question.
What was the question? I don't even remember the question now.
Oh, come on,
it was a
bro.
good question. But everybody just been running their
He
mouths.
wasn't,
That's why I
bro.
wanted to answer the brother in the moment.
Let
What was the question
me
you had for Willie?
He forgot, bro.
Right.
Yeah. Well, M left, so
Right.
never mind. M left, so
let me
Let
clarify.
Passport
Yes,
King
let
answer
me
how we
come
gonna
in.
get
Clarify the
reparations. He
UK
put
thing.
that
Can
in the back
Let me
chat.
can
let me clarify
Look,
the
DC
UK
speak?
thing about evidence.
Can my brother DC speak in my
hold on.
Let me
What guy? What
clarify the
guy?
evidence. The
Because
UK
what
Guys?
thing.
we forgot
Well,
is
guys,
funny
yo,
let
to
me
me.
read this super chat. Most run 3368. Thank you for $2. Liberians were enslaved and sold by. That's a damn lie. That's a damn
hmm.
lie.
Enslaved
No. So
American
what I have
who?
to
The
say, yeah,
American
look,
Liberians,
like we're
the
missing the
American
point here.
Liberians.
We're missing the big.
Stop over talking me. Number one, the American Liberians were some of the earliest abolitionists. So that's just a damn lie. Just make up stuff.
No, that's not
Thank you for the
true.
super chat. Go ahead.
That's not true.
Look, we're missing the bigger picture here.
The
You know,
earliest Americans that came over there
Oh, hold on.
colonized those
Mr.
because
people.
UK.
There was no
Mr. UK.
there's no colonization. Liberia and Ethiopia are the only two countries in Africa that weren't colonized. We got to
Are
move on.
you
Go ahead.
insane? Black
Prove it.
people went back
Okay,
Can I,
there.
can I,
Black
can I add on,
Willie.
people
sir?
went back there under the banner of the American colonization.
Willie. Show me
So
where show me where the United States of America considered Liberia a colony.
got you. Black
Go
people
ahead.
that went back there.
Willie,
And
show me where
I'm
the United
answering you.
States,
I'm answering you.
Willie,
I'm
either you got the
answering
answer or
you.
you don't. Show me
I
where the
promise
United
I'm
States of
answering you.
America officially considered Liberia a colony. Either you got it or you don't.
The ACS,
The
the
ACS was
American colonization,
the ACS was a
the
non-profit.
American colonization.
Willie, you're not gonna talk over me. The ACS was a non-profit organization that was used as a vehicle to dump former slaves in Liberia. It was a
Through
dumping
colonization.
ground.
Through
That's what it was.
colonization.
They were
It's
used
called the American Colonization Society. That's
show,
literally the name
again.
of it.
Show me where the United
What are we
States of
talking about?
America
They sent
formally.
black people over there to
Willie, show me
colonize
where the
this
United
area to
States
get
of
rid of
America
black people.
formally
That is the
recognized
true
Liberia.
history of Liberia. I don't
Answer
know
the question. We're
what.
not doing innuendos and because it was called a colonization site. Show me where the United States of America officially recognized Liberia as a colony. Show me where.
That's not my argument.
You just said it was colonized.
Yeah. I'm saying
So show
your
me where the United
argument,
States of America considered a
your
colony.
argument isn't my
No, it's
argument.
not colonized. Like Liberia was never colonized. It
When
was
black
it was
Americans went
Never
over there, they
colonized.
$100%
it was more like
colonized
it was
Liberia.
more like a protectorate, isn't it? It's more like a dumping ground.
When black
Well, it was a
You know,
dumping
Americans
ground.
went to
yeah, it was
Africa,
more like a
they
dumping ground. Okay.
100%
Well, anyway,
colonized
the weak
Liberia.
man is
Yeah,
gonna leave you guys.
we
What are
got
we
to move
talking
on.
about?
We got to move on. Go
The
ahead.
weak, yeah,
Please.
May I add on?
the weak man is gonna leave you, and I'll let the man that looked like a skeleton. I saw him live with Dr. Damages. He's a very strong man with a
You
Yeah,
big
the
coming
brother
mouth,
back with
asked
your
me a
rubbish
big
again,
question,
head.
but
bro.
I didn't
Just
get
because
that
I
answer.
outed you.
You look like you
What was
got
the question the
HIV.
brother asked me?
So carry
You,
on
you,
talking. Good life. Love you guys.
you're the one with AIDS.
Girl.
Yo, you
Love
know
May
you
what's
I
all. Yeah,
add
crazy?
on?
I love you,
Y'all make
Shakun.
me an FBA.
Oh, Jago,
I
you got
really
Take
don't
HIV?
be
care.
wanting to be an FBA.
Jago,
Love,
you
Easy.
got
love, love.
HIV?
Y'all make me an FBA, right? I
Jago,
was
you got
y'all
HIV?
last hope in
Now
America.
here, Willie, you FBA.
Y'all make
I
me
thought
an
you was
FBA.
African American, but you
Word.
FBA, boy.
He's not
Full
FBA.
FBA.
I'ma
He's
Full
not
always
metal
be
jacket.
FBA.
African American.
Nah,
He's not
No, you're
But
not
FBA, man.
y'all
FBA. You're
Democrat,
not
prove
bro.
Willie.
everything man in the high castle says correct.
You're
You
All
never
always,
going to
these,
be an
all these
FBA. Stop
you
speaking
assertions,
always
for anybody
threaten.
on this
He
panel.
always
all these
threatens.
assertions were made on our
Man in the
politics.
high
We
castle is
never got the
fried,
answer.
bro.
I'm
All
just
these
going to say
assertions
this.
were made on our
This
politics.
conversation ain't
We
moving
never
nowhere.
got the answer.
When it comes
No.
down to
Jago, answer my
Liberia,
Let me,
question.
when it
How do
comes down to
we
hold
get
on.
them to
Liberia,
give us reparations,
this
Jago?
Liberia has
Understand,
always been unique.
y'all make me FBA more
You
than
make
man in the
yourself.
high castle. He's
Jago,
right.
can you answer that question?
He's right.
I didn't hear you, bro.
When it comes to
Let me
me and
say
my
this real
home,
quick,
How
right?
does
he's right.
Africa force anybody to give them reparations, and how do we as Black Americans force anybody to give us reparations?
Here's the thing, though.
You see,
You
I'm
asked that
again,
hold on,
the question was asked.
Jagoon.
Wait, the question was
Jagoon, you
asked to me.
spoke uninterrupted.
No,
Can
but
I
the
speak
question, there's a
uninterrupted?
question.
Willie's
Yes,
Liberian right
Really,
there.
you
He's
interrupted me
I
from
for
know
his
all
he is.
night,
family from
bro.
the LIB. Is
I'll
that right
answer
or
the
wrong?
question when I get a chance, my bro.
Okay, Jago. Go ahead. Jago. Go ahead and answer the question.
Thank you very much. For me, I'm like Tahaka in a way. I'm not really somebody who believes that reparations would ever
Reparations is
happen.
coming. Gotcha.
I don't believe it would ever happen even with all these things. But if it does happen, and if there's a way, I would support it. But I don't believe the white people are going to give anybody. They can't even give us an apology for the ills that they've done, and they can't even admit that they have done ills. Instead, what we are now speaking about is the ills that we do to each other, and we have constantly done it to each other. You know, black Americans may not feel that they're Africans, but they behave exactly in the same way, which is with a lot of ignorance
Like a
and
bunch of Nigerians.
partitioning themselves and dragging themselves down. You behave like Africans, whether you like it or not. You behave like Africans, and it's you know, we might say that Africans sold Americans and want to become emotional about that. Meanwhile, in the Americas themselves, when you guys reached there, you were enslaving yourselves. They are black Americans who owned slaves. What about that? Why don't you talk about that?
Okay, Jagoon, they were so small
I'm
in
gonna
numbers,
buy
we
back
can't
my
really
family
just say
too.
that.
I'm gonna buy my family back
We
too as
do
well.
not act like Africans. Because
Yeah,
if you
right. All
notice,
right. All right. There
me,
you go.
Passport,
Oh man, we
and
back to that.
Man in
Yeah,
the High
you're
Castle, we're all
So
on the
many
same type of
you're
times.
time.
all FBA
And we
No, we're
separatists.
not,
disagree with
Willie.
each
You're
other.
you're your
Not
own
one
We
of
tribe.
us.
disagree with
You're
You're
a
each other.
code.
you're
But we're on the
tribalist,
same type of time. We're
separatist.
united. Understand
No, we're
You,
that.
not united. I'm
united
not
in
united with
separatism.
you.
No,
Passport,
y'all
bro.
not,
I'm not
bro.
united
Man in
with
the High
Passport
Castle.
King either. He's from New York. I'm not. I don't like New Yorkers. They're all
Chill,
There you
bro.
Yeah,
go.
see,
honorary with
It
we
feathers.
just
can't happen.
Africans, bro.
There you
That's for
go.
sure. That's for
Nah, we
sure.
not like Africans.
We
No, we're
just
No,
like
not.
no,
Africa.
no, no, no New Yorkers are like FBA.
Dynasty will
Here,
eat
You
bush
can't
meat.
be.
Hey,
But the
I'm
one
We
in
thing
New
just
about
like
York.
Africa
I'm
is,
Africa.
definitely not
so
New
I'm the
when's the
one that
last
brought
time
up
Africa has
politics.
kicked the
And hold
colonizer's
on, hold on.
ass?
So a lot of questions
I
are
watched
asked,
Ghana.
and
I
my
watched
They're
Ghana
doing
answer,
take
it
a big
now. What are you
dive
my
against
talking
England
answer
about?
to
today.
one of the
They're
questions
doing
Against
in
that
the
was
who?
Sahel.
How
asked,
they gonna win anything?
They're
How's
doing
my
in the
Ghana gonna
answer,
win
Sahel. What are
anything
you talking
when they took a
about?
my
draw to
answer to
England?
one of the questions that was asked
They have no
was the
fight in them.
Democratic Party, right? Then we went down the political conversation, and it was nothing but complete uninformed goofiness.
No, you said we
Understand
gonna
what
vote
I'm
for
saying,
Gavin
right?
Newsom, bro.
Understand what I'm saying. No, the Democratic Party does not fool us into anything. We have a simple choice. In
That's a lie.
America, we live in a duopoly, right? We know what the
Nice word.
Republicans stand on. The Republicans stand on gutting the Voter Rights Act. They stand on killing DEI, right?
No, nobody's stopping you from voting, Willie.
Can
Oh
I
no,
finish
stop
the
it, Willie.
point?
Yeah,
That
stop.
wasn't
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
we
nobody's
already
point.
went
stopping
Tell
through
you
me
from
that.
about
voting.
the
See,
fusion cities,
Dinas,
Willie.
this is
Tell
Black
me about
crazy,
the
folk
right?
is
fusion
not
cities.
under threat.
Dinas, yo, let the
Come on,
Africans
man.
talk for 30 minutes. You don't say a word.
No, I just said
You would
don't.
understand my point if you allow me to finish.
Okay, go ahead.
No,
I just
Right.
voted the other day, so I don't know what you're talking about. But go ahead.
Yeah, no. What you just said is what I won the bet on. Yeah. Right. So that was goofy to interrupt me for that. What I was saying was this. America is a duopoly, right? There's two sides you can vote for and have an immediate impact. No, the Green Party under Jill Stein is not going to get elected, right? So when you talk about the black vote, it's not an idea of being fooled. We know our history. Lyndon Johnson was a Dixiecrat. He couldn't stand Negroes, right? But he understood if he acquiesced to us, he would secure our vote for the next 100 years. These are white man's exact words, right? So when
no,
you
that
have the
wasn't his exact words.
conversation,
Say his
so can
exact
I
words, because he
finish?
wasn't trying to
Can I
acquiesce to us,
finish?
bro.
Hold on,
Right, no,
hold
Can
let's
I
on,
stop that.
finish?
hold on, 1
Can I
second.
finish?
Willie, I give you permission to say exactly what he said. Please go ahead.
Yeah, bro.
That's what he said. He
A
said,
Dixiecrat is a Democrat.
But I want Jagoon and our African brothers to hear what he said, and you guys prove,
what he
and black
said
folks prove.
was,
And
if we're
hold
on
on,
the
Willie. I'm not
right,
done yet. I'm not done, Willie. And black folks to this day militantly prove him right. Say exactly what he
Yeah.
said. Go
Say the
ahead.
exact quote, Willie.
I don't know the
You know I
exact
will.
words,
Oh,
but I
Willie,
know
say
exactly
the
I
what he
quote,
know
meant.
man.
I don't know the exact words, but I
the
know
How do you
exact
spell
words
exactly
was
what he
duopoly?
I'll
meant.
How do you
have
spell
them
I don't know
duopoly?
the
No, hold on,
before
exact
stop,
the
words,
stop,
but I
hold
know
on, stop
exactly what he
interrupting Willie.
meant.
Stop. Okay,
So
Willie.
I brought this up, right?
No, hold on,
What
Willie,
he meant, what
You're not getting past this. Hold on, Willie. Paraphrase what he said.
I'm
Go ahead.
trying to,
Okay, go ahead.
right? So what he basically said was, if we acquiesce as Democrats to what the black community is pushing for, we will secure their vote for the next 100 years,
Willie, get the fuck
right?
out of here, man. Stop being disingenuous. Say what he
That's
said,
not,
man.
that's
Willie,
what he
stop
said.
being disingenuous, Willie. Say what
Willie,
he
that's
said.
not what he said, Willie. You
Willie,
know that. You know
stop
what
being a
he
clown,
said.
Willie. Say what he said. And say
So,
it. You have
so
you have
I,
my permission. Say what he said.
so I bring it up, and then I'm
Willie,
not allowed to put it in
Say
context.
what he
I
said,
just
Willie.
said it.
Stop playing stupid.
I
Just
just
say
said
what
it.
he said.
I
And be
just said it.
disingenuous.
I
No,
just said it.
Willie, say what
What he
he
Willie, you
said
said,
don't
was,
know.
Willie.
Can you
if
kick
we
him off the
No, you
panel?
give,
didn't.
I kind of want to kick him off the
Okay,
panel
I'll
because he's
say
being
it,
disingenuous.
Diamond.
this
No,
is
no,
wild.
Passport King.
This
Willie,
is
say
wild.
what he said. You know what he said. Stop playing dumb.
What he said was, if we give black folk this Civil Rights Act and this Voter Registration Act, they will vote for us for the next 100
Willie, say
years.
what he freaking said, Willie. Stop playing stupid.
That's what he said.
Willie, shut up. Willie, get out of here, man. I can't. I
Yeah,
Willie just
bro.
on my
You ain't
That's not what
doing
he
that.
said.
That's
Willie,
That's
not
Willie
what
not
he
what he
just
said,
Willie
said.
gets on
bro.
my damn. Willie's just that's part of the problem, man. I try to be patient, but you
Oh
know,
my
He's
god.
on. He's just on one today. I don't know what he was drinking
Willie's just
before.
yeah.
He got something in his
So
system.
Passport King, you're more okay. I'm gonna give Willie redemption. Really, say what he said. I'm gonna kick you off,
So, Dinus,
Willie.
I would ask you, right? So I don't look like a fool.
Mhm.
Google exactly what he
Too
said.
late for
We
that,
already
man.
I'm
posted it in the chat, bro.
all right. So
Wow,
what was
that's
it? So
sad,
someone
man.
read it.
How
So
do you spell
someone
No,
read it.
you
duopoly
say
then?
it.
Because I don't think he even
Let me
knows.
look for it. Let me look for it.
Oh my lord, bro.
He's saying
How you have
anything
that
on here.
point
Where
and you
was it
don't know what
He
he
posted
said
in the
said,
Willie
chat?
bro?
really knows, but hold on. This is why Willie's so full of. Excuse my language. I gotta cut. This is why Willie's so full of shit, and I agree with Jagoon what he's saying.
It's
So
crazy.
he knows the duopoly. He knew about the Civil Rights Act. He knows all about American politics, but he's playing stupid when it comes to Lyndon B. Johnson.
Why
Yeah,
am I playing
bro.
stupid? I'm
Oh,
telling
Because
God
you,
you
knows.
couldn't have
Lyndon
brought
B.
God
him
knows
up
the
Johnson
without
is
answer to
a
that
knowing what he
racist.
question.
said, bro.
My
Willie,
point
stop.
was
Because
Lyndon
Lyndon
B.
B.
Johnson is a
Johnson
racist.
was an
That was my
unapologetic
point.
Well,
My
Willie,
point.
hold on.
anti-black
Give me a
What,
second,
Willie,
racist. Of
Willie.
passport.
course,
This is
you
what I'm
know
gonna do.
that if you're an American
Willie.
citizen.
Hold on,
Man,
Passport King. I'm talking, Willie. What
that's
did he
whack.
say, Willie? You know what he said. What did he say?
He said, if we give black folk this Civil Rights Act and this Voter Registration Act, they will vote for us for the next 100 years.
Okay,
And he
find us
was,
the direct
and he
quote that
was a
Willie,
says
come
that.
on,
racist.
man.
And he
Willie, come
was a
Find
on,
us the
man.
racist.
direct
Willie,
quote that
don't do
says
this.
what you just
Hold
And he
said.
on, King
was
Justice. Willie,
so
don't do this, Willie.
so
You know what
teach
he
me.
said, Willie. You
So
know what he
teach
said,
me,
Willie.
brother. So teach me. What am I
No,
missing?
you being disingenuous by
He
not
did that
saying
as
it, bro. You
hell,
know what
man.
he said.
I'm
That's
asking y'all to teach me.
No,
What
because
did he
you
say?
brought it up, so you should be able to say it. We know what
That's
he
the
said.
point. That's the point. And I can make
Right?
that point.
Dinus, can
But
I say it without the fine? Or you
Oh no,
still
well
want me
that's
to
what I'm
do it?
Dennis,
saying.
do you want me to
I
stay
gave
I'm
Willie
just
free.
asking
I
someone.
gave. Hold on, and I want Jagoon and Jagoon. This is what black folks in America. And I'm not saying go vote Republican, but this is what black
But
folks
tell me where I'm wrong.
militantly have been supporting for the past 50 years. Go ahead,
Correct.
King Justice. You have my permission. Go ahead, King Justice.
This is
LBJ said,
crazy.
I'll have them niggas voting Democratic for the next 200
Oh, yeah.
years. He didn't say
Right.
nothing about what you talking about, Willie.
He
So
I
actually
don't
said
may
understand
I
why you
500
couldn't
answer?
just admit
years,
that.
May I answer?
according to some reports.
So may I answer? I
Go
don't
ahead.
disagree with that. He probably did say the N-word.
It's not
Lyndon
a
B.
probably,
Wow, he
Johnson,
brother.
probably
Lyndon B.
did.
Johnson was a staunch racist. He was what was known as the Dixiecrats,
He was a
right?
Democrat,
So no, he was a Dixiecrat.
a
That's different.
Democrat.
He was
Hold
a
on.
That's just a
Democrat,
Hold.
Willie.
nickname.
The
Stop that.
Dixiecrats were a certain
Yes,
And see,
movement.
he's
and this is
still a
the problem.
Democrat,
This
Willie.
and Jagoon. See, Jagoon. I'm not saying go vote for Trump or Vance, but this is the problem I have with black people people on the left. They make up so many excuses. They dance around. They're disingenuous when it comes to the Democratic Party. Like the
I'm
dude
not
literally said,
dancing
the guy
around
literally
it. I'm
said, "I'll
responding.
have Jagoon." Hold on, the guy said, "I'll have." Excuse my language, guys. He said, "I'll have
N-words.
them. I'll have them niggers voting for Democratic for the next 60 years and
Yeah, I agree.
prove themselves right."
I
Jagoon.
agree. Did you think I disagreed with that? Is that what all the controversy was about? Because
Nah,
that
the
was the point
controversy is
I
you
was
being
trying to make.
disingenuous and dancing around what he actually
That was the
said.
point I was trying to make.
Why
Was
can't you just make it as a straight thing? It's straight. Why do you have
because
to
everyone's
go all
talking.
around the world?
Because
Just
everyone's
speak.
talking.
You know, there's a way that we
Can I
can really,
respond though?
there's a way that we can educate ourselves
Can I
here.
respond?
Or there's a way that we seep further into ignorance.
We're talking
I
about
mean,
Black American politics. You can't educate on that.
no,
So let
that's
me
why.
deal with Dynas for
That's why
just a second.
you see, you don't even understand
Dynas,
what
can
I
I
just
speak
said.
to you for
You
just a
don't
moment?
even know what I just said. I just
Dynas,
said
can I speak to
there's
you
a
for just a
way that
moment?
we can be educated here by those who have the
Because
knowledge.
Dynas, you put me
If
on the
you have the
grill.
knowledge,
Can you
why don't
allow
you
me to
just put it
fight back?
down?
Can I
Why don't
talk
you
to
just
you,
put the
You ain't
Dynas?
knowledge
got the
down?
knowledge, bro. You might got the bread, but you ain't
Can
got
I
the
talk to
knowledge,
you,
dog.
Dynas?
The brother's an idiot, man.
Can I talk to you, Dynas? So when you give the clear comment with the N-word,
There we
yeah,
go.
I'm agreeing 100%. That's what he was saying. I'm not running from that. So all this uproar was goofy. That was literally my point,
The
right?
goose came from you, man.
I was trying to get to a larger context. And what he was saying in that was that give these N-words, right? This Voter Rights Act that he signed, right? Give them this Civil Rights Act that JFK got turned into a convertible for. Dropped his top, right? I was never disagreeing with the fact that he was a staunch racist. That was my point. This is what's problematic about not letting me teach about American history. Jagoon will get to go on for 30
Nah, you're
minutes.
not teaching, bro. It's Black
Then
Americans that
shut
disagree
up,
with you,
man.
bro. Like, bro, you're not teaching nobody.
Yo,
If
man,
you
can
look
we
at
hear
all
other
the,
people
if you
speak,
look
man?
at all the southern states that back in the day, from Texas to Florida, all those in a straight line, all of them to this very day had more Democratic governors than Republican to this very day
No,
because
that's
they were
not
the.
true.
Yes, it's very true. Texas has
Georgia
had
and
more
Texas have
Democratic
more
governors
Republican
than
governors.
Republican governors to this very
Georgia
day
and
because of
Texas.
Confederacy. The Democrats were the Confederates.
Georgia and Texas right now have
Dude,
more Republican
dude,
governors
the
than
Democrats
Democrats.
have
You're
had
wrong. If
more
I could have
Democratic
made my
governors in
simple
Texas
point,
than
I
any
would have been done
other
10 minutes ago.
party. You can look it up right now.
Y'all are
Texas has
disagreeing
had
with
more
no.
Democratic governors in the state of Texas
All
and
right, let's
throughout
Google it.
history.
You want to be the
Yeah,
next
but
one to
the
lose a
party
bet?
switched, bro. That
Yes,
don't
You want to
yes,
be the next one
yes,
to lose a bet?
yes.
Man,
50
All right.
bucks. 50 Yankee bucks
Now,
right now.
you
I'll
gonna
split it.
lose, Willie. He
I'll
right,
split
but
it.
the party switched.
I will split
I
it
know I'm right
with Dynus.
No,
because I
you're not
study
right.
my people's history.
You're
I
not
know
I
I'm
will
right.
right.
split
He's
it with
right.
Dynus. I'm gonna
But
let
Well,
you
the
hold on.
argue
party
So
and
hold on.
see
switched.
What's the bet? Hold on. What's the bet? What's the bet?
If it was
that
more
Texas
Democrat
has
or
had
He
Republican
was
more
governors,
saying
Democratic.
that southern
Texas has had more
states still
Democratic
have more
governors
Hold on. I
Democratic
can't hear the
Republican.
governors.
both of y'all. I can't hear the both of you guys at the same
Let me
He
time.
was
speak
saying
first.
that
Then.
southern
Golly,
states
I
have
can't hear the both of you
more.
guys at the same time.
He was saying that southern states
He
had
said,
more Democratic governors than Republican. He's wrong.
Texas has had more
Georgia.
Democratic governors than Republicans
bro,
to this
he
very
is
day.
right.
okay,
I'm
hold on.
in
Okay,
Texas.
hold on.
I'm from Texas.
Stop. So what's the actual bet? Is it Southern or is it Texas?
Texas.
What's the bet, Willie?
We could deal with Texas.
Man,
Okay.
come
All right.
on,
So we're
bro.
doing this right now. So 25 comes to the house, 25 goes to the person that loses. We ready?
Yes.
Yeah, what's the
Willie, you take the
votes?
bet. You ready? Ready?
Go.
Okay. Hold on. Let me look it up right now. All right. Has
And then
Texas.
allow me to speak when I'm
The
Okay,
ready.
hold on.
party
Has
And I'm
switched,
Texas?
not
bro.
going to
The
get
Oh,
party
guys,
cut.
hold
switched,
on. Chill
bro.
out. Has Texas had more?
How long did I speak for?
Guys, hold on. Has Texas had more Democratic governors than
Bro, don't bet, bro.
Republicans?
The
Okay,
party
man.
switched.
Let's see here. Thinking. Hold on. All right. Okay. Look at that. Yes, Texas has had far more Democratic governors than Republican governors.
Hey up, man. Hey
But
up,
that goes for
man.
all those Confederate states, though, as
Hold
well.
on, hold on, hold on,
You
hold on,
want to
hold on, hold on,
have
hold
on
on,
to
hold on.
another butt? You want to double up on
God,
that?
hold on. Stop talking, Willie. I'm gonna put my cash app. Send me my 25, and you can send
No,
it 25
because
every
you're
free.
wrong. That wasn't the question.
That was
You
Yeah,
the
you changed
said
it.
question,
That
bro.
was the
That was the
You,
question,
question.
has,
you
Willie.
oh
has.
dear. Oh
We were
dear.
talking about right now.
Oh
Hey,
dear.
Willie,
Oh,
Willie, I can't, Willie, a
oh
guy
my
like
God.
you, man, I can't stand. You
Right.
just
This is
disingenuous as
crazy.
hell, man. I can't stand guys like
Rewind the tape.
Is not a man of his
He
word.
literally
Just
We were
asked
You're
you,
talking,
was
not a
you
talking
man
gonna
of your
about
take the
word,
talking
bet? And
man.
you
shit.
said
You're
now.
yes,
not,
bro.
a man of your word, Willie. You're not a
We
man of
were
your word.
talking
Terrible.
about
Terrible
right
display.
now.
Public display.
You
Publicly,
are
you know.
not. Hold
It's not
on,
even that
Jago.
he's amongst his friends.
Hold on, Jago.
Allow me to respond when you're done.
Willie, you are not a man of your word.
Here
Hard
you
stop.
go.
You're not.
I absolutely am
So
because
Willie, are you
I
gonna
bet
pay? Are
on
you gonna pay up, or do I have to
I
give you
bet
great? Oh,
on
Willie, I'm not. You're not
no,
talking over me, Willie. You're not talking over me. Are you gonna pay up, or do I just gotta
no,
give you a
because you're
pass like
wrong.
I did? Are you gonna pay
He's
up, or
right.
am I gonna give you a pass like Tarhaka?
So can I respond?
Willie,
That wasn't the
you
bet.
lost the bet, Willie. There's no
No, I
you
didn't.
lost. Yes, you did, Willie.
So can I explain?
Explain
That
Then
what?
wasn't the bet.
retire him right
That
now.
wasn't the bet. Our bet
That
was
was the
Retire
bet.
him for a
has
whole 24 hours.
wait. Just let me respond.
That's his kick in the
Our bet
ass.
Hold on,
Extremely
was
Willie.
not
dishonorable.
our bet was not that Texas has
You
Do you want to
confirmed
double
that.
had
up? Do you
Oh
want
You
to
my
double up
confirmed that.
God!
now?
Oh
Hey,
my
you
Right,
want to
bro.
Lord!
double
What's
up?
Really
wrong with this
bad.
dude,
Hold on,
Jago?
You want to double up?
Hold on,
Can I
Willie.
respond?
Willie? Are you gonna
I'll
pay the
keep it
bet?
short.
Willie. Are you gonna pay the bet or not?
Can I respond?
Willie, are you going to
You
pay the
been
bet or not? You
responding,
lost.
bro.
If I'm proven wrong on what I betted.
Willie, you already proven
You
wrong,
was
Willie.
No, I
proving wrong.
wasn't.
Willie, everybody on here, Willie, are you gonna
So
pay
can
the
I
bet or not?
explain why you're wrong?
Hey, Willie. Hey, Willie.
I can't take it no more, man.
Mississippi has had more Democratic governors than Republican ones. See, y'all don't realize that the Confederate States of America had things on lock for a short time, and they
Yeah,
were
but that's a
all
trick question, bro,
Democrats.
because the party switched, bro. Like that's the only reason
Oh,
why.
the party switched. No, they didn't. It's just the way it is.
No, fam.
It's just the way it is.
Man, y'all got hold on. I gotta say this, man. Moving forward, man. If y'all
Hit
say
the like
Dynasty
button,
Fam
share, and
Dynasty.
subscribe.
Well, it's not that, man. Like we gotta, if y'all go come on here and bet and then triple down on being wrong,
Yeah,
just
bro.
don't come on, the panel no more, man. This shit is frustrating. I mean, like where I'm from, like when we used to shoot dice when I was in college, and you lost your bet, you paid up.
Yeah.
This is just weird, man. This is the
And there
second
was
night
no
in a
cash
row.
app either. No
Just
cash app and stuff.
this is just weird, man. Y'all making bets and then run it off. Like this is just weird. Like just
2 days in a row. 2 days in a row.
2 days in a row, man. But not. Yesterday was Tarhaka. Today is Willie. I
Yep,
mean,
yep.
golly, man. If y'all gonna just make bets and then run off, like I'm not
I think
used to this.
yesterday's Tahaka's business was a much more deeper discussion, and it wasn't so clear cut as this today. Today is clear cut, and Willie is just a disapproving wank stain. If you can work that out.
Hold on, here's Willie's back. Go ahead, Willie.
Can
Go
I
ahead,
make a
Willie. I'm
quick
meeting up,
point?
Willie. Hold on. Go ahead, Willie.
So to be simple, right? I was under the impression that what we were
Willie, you're
disagreeing
not
on
stupid. Hold
was
on. Stop. Willie,
2026.
you're not stupid. Willie, you're not stupid. Stop being stupid. You're
Right?
not
No, I'm
stupid.
not being stupid.
You're being stupid. Stop being stupid. And it's not about this. It's just where I come from. When we used to bet, we bet it. Like
The
we like,
argument was
hey man, that's all you.
2026.
Whether it's sports, shooting dice, like I don't. Y'all just are weird, man. This is
Dynasty,
just
the
weird.
argument was 2026.
Really,
You
your
can't trust New
argument,
Yorkers. I'm
Willie, that
showing
Not
you.
the
wasn't the
argument,
argument,
bro.
Willie. Stop it. Either you're gonna pay the bet or you're not coming back on ever again.
He's not going to
I
pay
am
it.
telling
Dennis,
you that I
allow it.
was.
Allow it, Dennis.
Can I just
Allow it, man.
respond? We ain't
To
got to
what
crash
again? What
out.
are you responding to again?
We ain't got to
That you're a
crash out,
failure.
right?
Cash App, the man in the high
What
castle.
what I was
Cash App sign,
responding to,
$ TMITHC.
I'm telling you what I was betting on. and maybe
Willie,
nobody
Willie,
understood what
Willie.
I was saying.
Hey,
25
I
Yankee
Willie,
was
Willie, I
dollars.
simply,
can't. Willie, listen,
Dinus,
man.
Dinus,
But before you
I
said
let people
go,
come on.
you
Hold on, brother.
confirmed that
Dinus,
Willie,
one
you were
sentence.
down with the bet.
Literally
You said go.
one
You said
sentence. One
you said
sentence. You ready? I was betting on 2026, right?
rubbish. That
I
wasn't
said
said.
oh, Willie, get the
that
fuck out
Man,
of here,
you're
Willie.
Republicans.
Rubbish.
disingenuous, man.
Willie,
I have
you're
to
a
come in,
clown,
man.
Willie. Willie, you're a
You
clown.
never
Rubbish.
said that.
Get out of here, Willie. Willie's
You
a
never
clown.
said nothing like that.
Willie's
Liar.
a clown.
You're not only someone
Dinus,
who
can I
won't pay his
interject
debts,
for a moment?
you are now lying. I mean, how further do you want to dig your own grave? My
Willie,
God, brother.
So Willie,
Hey,
now
You're not
Dinus,
you
let me
lying,
ask you, is
Willie.
it just about the $25? Because I'll send you $25 just to make my
send
point.
it, my
You gotta pay.
friend.
No,
Hey,
hold on,
send me
Willie.
my
I'll just
$25
stand
too.
on what I've said.
No, Willie. You
I'll
gotta
send
pay.
you $25 if you need it.
Willie, hold on. You gotta pay Reverend Green too.
Let me be clear.
You
I
gotta
don't
pay
care who I
Reverend
gotta
Green
pay.
too.
I'll send $25 to make my point.
You gotta
What
pay.
I
No. You gotta pay. You gotta pay Reverend Green too.
come on, bro. Like you
It was
bugging.
$50, Willie. You lost. So you gotta
No,
pay
I
me
didn't
and Reverend
lose.
Green. Yes,
No,
you
I didn't
did.
lose.
Oh man. Hey,
What I
Willie, listen,
hold on
man. We
before you
appreciate
drop me.
you. Black
Before you
Boule.
drop
We
me.
appreciate you. Get out of here, man. Like, I'm not bringing them on no more.
One time.
Yeah,
One
I'm done.
time.
Anyway,
Dinus,
look,
can I make a
hey,
quick
look.
point about
I'm
something
gonna
earlier
drop off
related to
here.
the topic?
Let me just come in, yeah. Hold up. Look, the whole point, yeah, the whole point of this unity, yeah, is for freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's to form economic freedom. You know what I'm saying? So we can just do stuff by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because at the moment in the world, you know what I'm saying, we face as black people, wherever you go in the world, we face difficulties. You know what I'm saying? Like we, in terms of economics, you know, we rank low. We rank low in terms of economic because we're still depending on outside forces. You understand? It doesn't matter whether you're in America, whether you're in Europe, South America, we're still depending on, like, you know, external forces. We're still dependent on the Caucasian. So the whole point of us doing this, yeah, is to form economic unity, and you know, let's make some money. You know what I'm saying? Let's form this economic unity. Let's make this thing happen. You know what I'm saying? And stop, like, you know, going back and forth and doing like silly stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's do business. You know what I'm saying? Let's become free. Let's be free. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not free. We're not free people. You know, wherever you go, we're not free. So let's make things happen. Yeah. So
Sir, are you
peace
oppressed
out to
today?
the panel. Yo,
Are you oppressed today?
am I what?
Oppressed? Are you down pressed? Are you oppressed?
I'm not oppressed, but
Exactly. I'm not oppressed
do you
either.
understand economics? Do you understand economics? Do you understand what's happening around the world when it comes to black people? I've got stats.
But the
He
United
doesn't
States
care.
is
You
not
don't
responsible.
understand that. He doesn't
I
care.
understand what's happening here in the United States. So no, I don't understand what's happening with everybody around the world.
Why don't you?
Enlighten me.
You
Enlighten
live
me.
in the world, innit, don't you? You
I
live
live
in
in
the
the
world.
United States.
So
I
I know
represent
what's
the United
happening in
States.
when it comes to economics with black people. I know that in terms of black people in the United States,
Our
the
currency's
wealth gap.
different, sir.
Look, listen. The wealth gap, white people, like, they are higher in the wealth gap. Indians are higher in the wealth gap than black Americans. That's what I know.
No, they're
When
not.
you come to the UK,
No, they're
what?
not. See, that's a
Yes, they
lie.
are. We
See,
talking about?
the GDP of
Man, go and look
India,
at the
the
stats.
GDP of India is how much compared to our spending power here in the United States.
Yeah, but let me stop you there.
We're
So
talking about
that's
wealth.
what I'm saying.
That whole spending power number is so overrated, man.
You don't even have no unity, bro. Where you get the spending power
Yeah,
from?
we gotta stop with the spending power stuff. Like,
Man, where
Wait,
you get that
hold on. I
from?
want to
So
build
I'm
on what
talking
he's
in
just
the
Our
said. Hold
UK
spending
as
on, can I
well.
power
give?
is just a fraction
Can I,
of our GDP.
Oh my God.
hold
See,
on. Let
we
me
keep
build on
our
what
money
God
here in
just
the
just
United
stated.
States. We don't take it out of the United States economy.
Anyway, all I'm
So
You
saying, you're
you
missing
don't
the
taking that
point.
have
money?
it in
You
your
have to
own
look at the
economy
bigger
either.
picture.
You don't have
Yeah,
it in
Look at
your
the
own
it
bigger
takes the
economy.
picture.
money
You spend
outside
it
of
out.
India
You
all the
spend it
time.
out of your economy. You
Look, we're
spend it
looking
for
for
the white
economic
man.
freedom.
India does not put their money in their economy like that. They take it
What,
out.
What do
what
you
do you
mean?
mean? What do you
Oh my
mean?
God.
They
He
come
doesn't know
over
Hey, man,
anything.
here,
I don't
they
know
take
where
it
you're
out
getting
of the
your
United
facts from.
States.
You
They
see,
don't put it in India. They don't put it in India.
Dinus, where do you get so
They
many
don't
stupid
put it in
people
India.
in that America?
Jagoon, this is a platform for everybody.
No,
I
I
know.
didn't say it wasn't. But why is all the Americans speaking so stupefyingly? They speak as though they
What
haven't
is
read a book.
India's GDP?
Mate, yo, go and look at
And
the
they got a
stats. Go
billion
and look at the
people.
stats, man. I work on facts.
Jagoon, you gotta understand, Jagoon. We're not really traveled. Like, well,
I work on facts. You know what I'm
we're not
saying?
really
So
not
I
really,
know
So
these
what
really
is
things.
traveled like
India's
that, man. This
GDP?
is
Just
what
get
it
that
is, man.
together with their
India's
population.
GDP is
You
about
go and
4
look it up.
trillion or
You
something,
go and
man.
look it up.
It's around 4 trillion.
How many
Higher
people
than
do
the
they
black
have there?
Americans, mate. It's around 4
How many
trillion, black.
people do they have there?
They got something like 1.5 billion, like something like around about there. 1.5 billion.
1.4.
1.4,
And so
yeah.
add
yeah.
that to our spending power. Just imagine. You
What
can't
is
You
your
got
fuck
1
with
spending? What's your
us.
trillion.
spending power?
You can't
Say
fuck
don't
with
spend it
Your
us.
yourself.
spending power is
You
1
can't
trillion.
fuck with
That
us.
spending power doesn't
You see,
mean
the thing is, yeah, your
GDP.
thing is, your spending power is just fabricated. Their spending
No,
power
it's
is
not
Yeah, but
actually.
fabricated.
passport. Hold on, Reverend Green. Hold on, he's right. It's fabricated like
Yeah, man. Look,
MF,
it's,
man. You
there's
gotta
no
stop that.
basis to your spending power. Like, where is it? Is it like a source? Like, is it
Our
coming from the
spending
military?
power
Where is it
is
coming
over
from?
$1 trillion. We are
Where is it coming from?
Can
away
you
from
see that
40
Where
money?
is that
million
trillion
people.
coming from?
No, where it's coming from. It's coming from their work and effort. But where do you spend it? Where is it? How do
Here in the
you
United States,
within our
economy,
galvanize that as a power?
within this economy, it doesn't
With white
leave.
people outside of our
It
community.
doesn't
Our
leave this
dollar is
economy,
not
outside
unlike
of
you
your community.
immigrants.
over
You guys
7
are always
hours.
taking things out of your economy and out of
No, we're not
ours.
taking things
You
out.
don't add
Anyway,
on to nothing.
look, you're taking my
Yeah, it is,
point, yeah?
yeah.
What I just said, the
That's the
statement
issue.
I just
You're
said.
not looking at it objectively.
Look, hold on.
You have
Our
no
money
I just
stays
said,
circulating in our economy here in the United States.
listen. It doesn't matter.
You
What you're
can't tell
saying
me
doesn't
nothing if you
matter.
don't live here.
What
I'm
you're
here,
saying,
bro. I'm black
can't.
American.
Hey,
My
man,
family
When
on
we
my
speak
nation.
about, if you're going to speak about India isn't inside America. You damn nitwit. India is its
Do
own
you live
country.
in India, sir? Nitwit?
It's written.
Exactly.
It is written. It's written in books. You
I'm
could
just
just
saying
read
the diaspora
and
there.
find out.
Crikey,
The
mate. It's
diaspora
written
there.
books, mate.
Yeah, man, you damn fool.
You
Yo,
Will
the diaspora
Skousen,
there
you?
make more money
Okay.
than you, man. Stop it.
Reverend Green.
But
How much does our dollar circulate in our community?
That's exactly what Uncle Sam wants to know.
Dumb people, man.
you're silly, man. Hey, look. Anyway,
You know,
look,
you're wilding,
you're
bro.
taking my point to
Y'all keep on
somewhere else.
underscoring our power.
Look,
Who owns the corner stores in the
I'm
black
not
you see,
underscoring
that's
your
why
power.
that's why you
I'm not
flipping out,
underscoring
crashing
your
out.
power.
That's
bro,
why
it's
you
not hard
kirking
to
out right
understand.
now.
Look,
Who owns the corner stores in the black community?
Indians.
Exactly.
Indians come over here on government assistance
Who
and they take
owns-
money out of the economy.
Who owns the fast food spots
Take
in the
out.
black community?
You give them the money to take out because you can't start your own
They
business.
take money out of the economy, the American economy, not
Do you
our
know what? It's
community.
the same out here as well. You
Specifically,
know
like
that.
it's a demographic. Y'all
It's the
wild,
same
bro.
here as well.
We're Americans.
That's how I know.
We're
You see,
Americans.
that's the battle
white
that
man
we're
too.
fighting here.
White man
We
too.
are Americans,
That's
sir.
the battle. That's the
You're a white
economic
man.
battle that we're talking
You're a
about. That's the
tether.
bigger
I'm a
picture.
proud
Tether to a white
American,
man.
and it hurts you.
No,
Yo,
me.
It
Tether to a
hurts
white
you.
man. You
It
see, this is
hurts
what
you.
you know what,
It hurts
Dinus?
you, sir.
Yo,
Your platform.
You're gonna
Anyway,
address
you
me
just
Mr.
messed up
Charlie
my
Your
from
point,
platform,
now
man.
on.
Dinus.
Call me
You messed
Mr.
up the point
Charlie.
of view that I'm
Which
trying
would
to
have
make.
been a
Call
good
me Mr.
platform.
Charlie from
It's
now
been
on, sir.
destroyed by these people, mate. Your
Look,
platform has been destroyed.
Your
There's just
people,
ignorant
your
people.
people are
you're
suffering from abject
disingenuous, man. You're
poverty
deceptive.
and
You're an
living in
idiot.
shanty towns,
Bro, you're
while you're
deceptive,
living in a
man.
flat
You're living in
somewhere
a
in
ghetto.
Europe. You're
Living
living in a
what?
flat somewhere in Europe,
Most of you are
while your
completely
people are
drunk.
living in
you're just
shanty towns and
You're a
squalor, sir.
crack
Hey,
fiend.
That's
man,
nothing to
like,
that's nothing to
stop.
See what
brag
I'm even
about.
doing.
All right, guys.
I've
Let
never
me
fled this
hold on. Let me
country. I
read.
love my
Let me read this.
country.
I gotta read the super chat. Say James 226. Thank you for $2 holla. Dinus, you should have Brandon pay my $500. I don't know know what the $500 is for. Say, James.
Anyway, look, all I'm saying
Sorry.
is we need to be free, blood, because you ain't free out there. You're
Leave
still
him.
underneath You're
The
still
white
I
amongst
man.
the
am free, sir.
Caucasian.
That's why I asked if you were
You
oppressed.
ain't.
I'm
You're
not
a
oppressed.
white
You
man
ain't,
batty liquor.
I
boy.
don't know about you
You ain't, man. You still got to
Very
beg.
important
You
related to
lick
the
white
topic.
man batty. How about
because
Yeah.
that?
I love this country.
You
Because
still
you
I
love
happen
got
to
to
white
be
beg. You
white
man.
get me,
now.
blood. So
I
You're
this
just
is what
batty
we're
addressed you
liquor.
that I'm
saying, yeah.
Got
American,
that.
This is what
and
we're
that
saying.
hurts you
This
the
is what we're
most.
saying. Man in the
That
high
you batty lick.
castle.
All the proud Americans in the live chat,
Man
just
in the
press
high
one if you can,
castle.
Proud
if
Americans.
you love
Do you
America
know what?
Proud
Do
like
white
you know
I
man
what?
do.
lovers.
Become
If
international.
you love America like I do, just press
Yo,
one.
I know. Look.
Are
We ain't
you
got
willing
nothing
to leave
against.
America
We ain't got
right
nothing
now?
against America,
Press
blood. No,
two.
no. Look.
Who's in
America's
America?
done
Who
a
wants
lot
to
of
be
great
there?
things. Black America's done a lot of great things, man. We love that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us take inspiration from Black Americans. That's
I've
real. You
explained
get
this
me?
to them, but
But
they
listen to
don't
this.
understand.
You
Listen
don't
to
take
this.
any inspiration when you're hating. You're trying to
You see what I'm
underscore.
saying?
No,
You're
I'm
trying
not
to
There you
hating. I'm
go.
underscore
just
my
being
power.
factual.
You
I'm
know.
being factual, blood. I work on facts, man. I work on facts. You get me? What I said, everything I said was
Not
factual.
pure
Ain't no lie.
You
foolishness.
Ain't no
have
lie there.
no
But
you have
listen to
no
this.
say so in this economy, sir. It doesn't even recognize you.
What do you mean I
Time is
got
of the
no say so? The
essence.
stats are there. You get me?
You live in
What you
Oh,
doing?
you
England.
Are you
can't be
I
living
have
black
in a
no say
fantasy
American,
so
bro.
in
land?
England, sir.
You can't be black
You
American, bro. We
living
don't
in a
just go out our
fantasy
way to
land?
What's
disrespect
the
people like that,
GDP
dog.
of the black European, huh?
Don't
Yeah,
worry about the
exactly.
GDP of
How does
Black
that matter?
Europeans.
What's your
All right,
spending
guys,
power over there?
we got to close out. Everyone, thank you so much for
Yeah,
Don't
joining.
worry
man.
about
Subscribe,
that.
connect
But
with our
listen,
family.
let's make
Dynasty
money.
America.
Dennis,
Let's
nice
make
one.
You're
See
money.
you
you're
Let's
later because
connect.
this is
you're